Choosing the right orthodontist can mean the difference between an average patient experience and one that is truly exceptional. Hines Orthodontics serves the West Michigan area with locations in Rockford and Kentwood. As a patient of Dr. Hines, you can be confident that you have chosen an orthodontist with the skill, expertise, and commitment to make your smile his top priority. Dr. Hines and his team are dedicated to providing the most efficient and effective treatment using the finest technologies available in orthodontics. Check them out online at hinesorthodontics.com or on Facebook and Instagram.
Heart of Gold. You'll find it at Metro Health, University of Michigan Health, where leading heart and vascular specialists are at the forefront of cardiovascular care. You know what else is golden? Our newly expanded office, located at 1310 East Beltline, just off of Lake Drive. You can't beat the location. Look for the Block M, or better yet, schedule an appointment. Online at metrohealth.net/heart-vascular.
Decades ago, Bob Blackwire built the South Christian football program into a state powerhouse. Meanwhile, George Barczewski was doing the same thing in East Grand Rapids. Those two legendary coaches turned the reins over at the turn of the century to Peter Sturzma in East Grand Rapids and Mark Tamiga at South Christian. Now the Young Bucks have taken over as Danny Brown leads the South Christian Sailors against his good buddy Casey Longo and the East Grand Rapids Pioneers. That's our matchup tonight. Two longtime West Michigan powerhouses, South Christian and East Grand Rapids, ready to go in an interconference matchup tonight at East Kentwood High School.
Weights have been lifted. Sprints have been run. Preparation for today's game is history. It's time to get it done.
For almost 60 years, Earhart Construction has successfully built some of the most well-known structures and facilities across the West Michigan landscape. These projects set the foundation for where we are today. Providing a distinctive construction experience for our clients has been Earhart's priority since the beginning, and it continues to be their primary focus today. We can't wait to make your next commercial or residential project a reality. Contact us today by visiting earhartcc.com. Again, that's earhartcc.com.
All right, hi again, everyone, and welcome to another exciting night of high school football. Live from East Kentwood High School, it's the East Grand Rapids Pioneers and the South Christian Sailors in a terrific interconference matchup between two outstanding and long-time Grand Rapids powers. My name is Bob Sack. I'll have all the play-by-play for you tonight. We're live on Michigan Sports Radio. Tonight we debut the Sailor Zone YouTube channel on South Christian Athletics. We're also live on WBBL, The Ticket, AM 1340, and we'll be joined by Byron Center Television as well. So a terrific lineup of coverage. We're glad you chose to spend your Friday night with us here on this Labor Day weekend. Joined tonight by Bryce Sack. Bryce, good to have you back in the broadcast booth tonight, former South Christian captain, and it's been a couple years since you've served in this role. Good to be back.
It's great to be back. It really is. I recently moved down to Texas a couple months back, and most of you know Texas high school football is a big deal. But I come back here, I see South Christian, East Grand Rapids, and I think West Michigan football is not far behind.
Not
It's
too
special.
bad. South Christian, again, hosting East tonight. East Grand Rapids comes into the game 0-1. They lost last week to Zeeland West. Got thumped 44-27. In fact, at one time, early in the third, they were down 38-7. Really did not take a punch well from Zeeland West. That vaunted T formation offense amassed almost 400 yards rushing for the Zeeland West offense under John Shillito. So they'll be ready to go tonight after a tough loss last week. Bryce, South Christian, on the other hand, also with a solid victory, 27-7 over Grand Rapids Christian, their rival. You played in two of those games against Grand Rapids Christian. One went your way, you lost one. How important was it for the Sailors to get off on the winning track in a season against their arch rival? What does it do for them to set the tone the rest of the way?
Yeah, I want to say it's almost pivotable. It is so important. It is so important to go into that game ready to play, ready to start the season. You got to make sure you're tightened up on both sides of the ball. And knowing it's a rivalry game, there's the city bragging rights on both sides, and it's an important way to start the season. So it's a great win.
So two teams opposite ends of the spectrum last week. East Grand Rapids on the losing end, South Christian on the winning end. And we'll tell you more about that game when we come back. We'll step aside for a couple of messages, and when we return, tell you more about East Grand Rapids and South Christian tonight from East Kentwood High School.
Looking for fresh food, variety, and great deals? Shop your local Family Fare supermarket and sign up for our Yes Rewards program for everyday savings, exclusive digital coupons, rewards, and other special perks. Plus, you can use your Yes account to shop online with the Fast Lane, our new online grocery shopping service. Just order online, select pickup, and we'll do all your shopping for you. It's that easy. To learn more about shopping with Yes at Family Fare, visit shopfamilyfare.com.
Guess what? We're hiring at Culver's. That means if you're up for welcoming families with coworkers who feel like family, and you have a thing for fresh frozen custard, and for growing your career in a place you can be proud of, you're our kind of people. So join the Culver's team. Apply at culvers.jobs.
Bob Sack back with you here at East Kentwood High School, joined just moments before kickoff by South Christian offensive coordinator Zach Blackwire. Congratulations on a good win last week, 27-7 over Grand Rapids Christian. Doesn't get easier tonight with East Grand Rapids. They lost last week to a Zeeland West team that was really good, amassed almost 400 yards on the ground. It's a different kind of offense than you run. But, Zach, what did you take away from watching EGR on film that allowed you to think, hey, we can move the football against them?
Yeah, so, Bob, I really didn't take a whole lot from that game. Wing T teams, especially Zeeland West, have given really good defenses fits. And we know that East Grand Rapids has one of the best defenses in the area. And so we tried to concentrate more on ourselves. We were really disappointed with some of our line play last week, and so we concentrated more on what we need to do as an offensive line other than what East Grand Rapids is going to do to us.
You and Danny Brown, heading into the season, we're both talking about your young receiving core and guys who hadn't played much. Worried a little bit about getting separation from DBs. Yet quarterback Jake DeHaan had a terrific night last week, spreading it around to a number of receivers. Out of that young receiving group, who emerged in your mind as a real pleasant surprise last week?
So we feel like we have 8 good receivers. We had 4 guys that didn't touch the field last week. Jace DeMann's just as good as a receiver as he is a defensive back. We're just saving him for defense. But I would say Jake Vermas, he's an athlete. You know, you get him the ball in space and you're going to see good things. We love Jack Skur. My nephew, Colton, did really well. And so we're just excited about that receiver core.
All right, we'll see him more tonight. Big game. Good luck tonight, Zach.
Hey, thanks, Bob.
When we return, we'll get you ready for this, talk a little bit more about some of the keys to the game. Bryce will fill us in on his perspectives as we get you set for kickoff. Just around the corner, East Grand Rapids South Christian coming up.
Is this one mine? I'll take this one.
The Falling Warehouse in Cascade has just added the Monday morning quarterback. Have you ever wanted to get an interactive look at what it's like to be a quarterback? A virtual reality football simulator used by pro and college football teams as a training tool. Pick your play, take the snap, and run it against the defense of real defenders. Anyone can play. Everyone wants to play. There's no limitation on age or ability. Check it all out at thefallingwarehouse.com.
If you're 18 years or older, AHC Hospitality is hiring for open positions at its downtown hotels. Starting pay is $14 an hour, paid weekly, with medical, dental, and health benefits, hotel discounts, and more. Positions include front desk, housekeeping, restaurant, and management roles at our 6 premier downtown hotels. Visit ahchospitality.com/careers to jumpstart your career at one of 6 world-class hotels in downtown Grand Rapids.
Back with you here at East Kentwood, just moments away from kickoff. East Grand Rapids and South Christian ready to go. One more time here with Bryce and talk a little bit about this game tonight. East Grand Rapids comes in with an interesting quarterback situation. Last week at Zeeland West, David Bernicker, the starter, was hurt late in the second quarter, an injured hand. He's going to play tonight. He's got a heavily taped hand. One of your keys to the game certainly is the East Grand Rapids quarterback situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the first key is just that, how important that quarterback play is. I know that last week the offense sputtered a little bit in his absence, and so him being back this week, ready to play, even if he's not 100%, could be very important for this East Grand Rapids offense.
And injuries play a key role on the South Christian side as well, with another key aspect of this one.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we heard that Cam Post, Cam Van Salkema both out tonight. Again, crucial parts of that offensive line. See how well South Christian's offense is going to move the ball.
And East Grand Rapids, I think Bryce is going to come out fired up after a tough loss. Maybe the most important aspect tonight.
Absolutely. Coming off, what was it, a 44-27 loss to Zeeland West, which, mind you, it is that wing T offense. Still pretty tough to come back from. So let's see how East Grand Rapids responds, because I'm sure they'll be fired up.
All right, should be a good one tonight. Looking forward to bringing it to you here on Michigan Sports Radio and Sailor Zone YouTube, Byron Center Television, and WBBL AM 1340 The Ticket. Now our national anthem. Perfect. East Grand Rapids was 6-4 last year, 3-3 the OK White. They lost in the playoffs in the third round of the regional, so they're really the fourth playoff game to Muskegon, 24-0. No loss there in terms of dropping to the Big Reds. But so it was a 6-4 season, finished 3-3 the OK White. This is a proud program, of course, with 11 state championships. Throw 3 in from South Christian, Bryce, and you got 2 of the best programs going at it tonight. 14 state titles between them. What a fun matchup.
Absolutely. The tradition, the legacies of these 2 programs that they bring, just again, the community support that's behind these 2 programs. I mean, this is what it's all about. I could not be more excited for this.
Coin toss at midfield right now. Tell you that, again, the East Grand Rapids squad coached by Casey Longo, replacing Peter Sturzma, of course, who is at Hope College, which, by the way, is where our normal partner, Arlen Gaddy, is tonight. He is doing the broadcast for Hope College tonight. South Christian won the toss. They will defer. So Danny Brown wants that defense on the field first. Mentioned in the pregame, East Grand Rapids trailed 38-7 early in the third at home against Zeeland West. A game where I think shell-shocked a crowd that was all geeked up for the season opener. And Zeeland West, with that just relentless wing T offense, took the air out of the balloon very early. Ended up rushing for 376 yards. Pioneers moved the ball pretty well on the ground. They had 269 yards and threw for 85, so they were able to move the ball. Made the game close in the second half before falling again 44-7. South Christian 27-7 winner over Grand Rapids Christian.
I tell you what, Bob, East Grand Rapids lost last week. They should be able to put that behind them. Again, that offense is tough. That doesn't really indicate the quality of your defense, again, with that tough offense. So I'm really excited to see how they bounce back tonight. And they're going to get the ball first, and we'll see how they do.
And we'll see David Berniker at quarterback. Again, he'll wear number 3 and heavily taped throwing hand. He injured it late in the first half on a play where I think his hand hit a helmet of one of the offensive or defensive linemen, and that sidelined him for the rest of the contest. He was replaced by Preston Bergstrom. Nate Brinks' run up, and the onside kick. What a way to start. It is grabbed by Jeremy James alertly, though. He ran backwards, but a key play there by James just to see the onside kick. Surprise for South Christian in the early stage.
I love it. Danny Brown coming out, making things a little bit tricky. Great job fielding it, though, by number 22, Nathias Grady.
Jeremy James actually wears 22. Nathias Grady will wear 4. They switch numbers. So if you're watching on Byron Center Cable or YouTube, Sailor Zone YouTube, Nathias Grady is number 4. Berniker's the quarterback. He's 3. Andrew Caswell's the running back. He's got the handoff over left guard and is met by Jeff Cashin right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Cashin came into the Christian game last week in the second quarter, replacing Cam Post, who was the starting inside linebacker. Tough loss for the Sailors to lose Post. Cashin played very well all over the field last week at Christian. Boy, he made his presence felt right there on the first snap. Caswell rushed for 148 yards against Zeeland West last week. He's got it again, finds room around the right end, picks his way over the first down marker to the 47-yard line. Stopped by Dykema, and that's enough for a first down.
Yep, fantastic run, get to the outside edge. Will Fenema, South Christian's defensive end, ended up coming inside and not keeping contained, which allowed East Grand Rapids for a big gain there.
Caden Dykema, that left outside defensive end for South Christian, looks a little shaken up. He's holding his right arm. He had a terrific game in his debut last week against Grand Rapids Christian. From the right hash, 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll give it to the big fella. Grady pounds his way over left guard into Sailor territory down to the 46. Cashin tripped him up. So was a little help from the secondary, Clayton DeCam.
Hey Bob, if you can get that inside dive play for 5 yards throughout the whole game, that sets up the rest of the offense.
No question about it, and they're running Caswell effectively here in the first 3 plays. 5'11", 170-pound junior is Andrew Caswell, and again, that looms important because with Berniker's injured throwing hand, Pioneers need to move it on the ground. Quick pitch to Caswell. He tries to get to the left end. Great contained by Dykema, and then he wraps him up at the 48-yard line for no gain.
I tell you what, I think Will Fenema was listening to me, because that play, that sweep going to the other side, he was right there to keep contained.
So critical to hem in that edge. And South Christian did it there, no gain. Just underway, minute and a half into this one. Great to have you along with us on this perfect Friday night for football. Much more pleasant than last Friday, where the temperature exceeded 90 degrees and the cramps from players outnumbered the touchdowns all night long, that's for sure. 3rd and 5 for East Grand Rapids. Ball right in the middle of the field at the South Christian 48-yard line. First big 3rd down play of the night. In motion is Jeremy James, number 22. The handoff is to Caswell over right tackle. He's not going to get the first down. Dykema working hard to slide over from that right end. Got a little help from Kistner and DeCam, and that's a 4th down, and South Christian will force an East Grand Rapids punt after that 1-yard plunge by Caswell. Jake Vermas, the sophomore, retreats back to his own 10-yard line to field the punt. East may take a delay of game here just to pick up some more yard. Nick Collins is the punter. His rugby-style boot is a high, lazy spiral angling toward the right sideline. Beautiful kick. Goes out of bounds right at the 10, and that's where South Christian will start. 1st and 10 from their own 10 with 9:09 to go.
Sailor ball, 1st down.
And I just wanted to take a moment to thank some of our sponsors tonight. First one is Tough Turf Mole Busters. They're your local lawn and pest experts. Their green and orange vehicles with the mole on the roof stand out, and so does their service. While they are mostly recognized for the mole control, they also take care of chipmunks, voles, mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, wasps, and spiders. Their lawn fertilizing and aeration program take the worries out of having a great-looking lawn. Tough Turf Mole Busters probably already has customers in your neighborhood. Find them on the web at toughturfmolebusters.com.
From the 11, 1st and 10. Jake DeHaan out of the gun, quick one-step drop, and he slings it out in the right flat, complete to one of his favorite targets, Tanner Bawalda. He's one of those number of good receivers, young receivers that Zach Blackwire talked about. Bawalda last week against Grand Rapids Christian was able to catch his first career reception, a 19-yard gain, and he's on the board with a 7-yard gain here on this one. 2nd and 4 from the 19, ball at the right hash, 4 wide, 2 to each side for Jake DeHaan. Looks at a 3-man front. Pioneers bring blitz. He gets hit hard as he throws, but completes the pass in the right flat for a 1st down at the 28. It was completed to Ashton Fenema. DeHaan hung in there well, Bryce. Took that lick, delivered a strike.
Yep, absolutely. Took a blitz right up the middle, and while he completed the pass, got punished for it. A great job sticking in the pocket and sticking to the receiver.
So Danny Brown and Zach Blackware come out throwing here in the early going. 2 plays, 2 passes, 2 completions. 1st and 10 South Christian at their own 28. 8.5 to play in the opening stanza. Pioneers show blitz again, now back off. DeHaan will roll to his left, throws downfield across his body over the head of Jake Vermas along the left sideline at the 38-yard line. He had him. That's a tough throw, though, when you're rolling left and throwing back across your body.
Yeah, you really have to change your body motion there. It's interesting. South Christian has a 3rd straight play out of that formation with that tailback in the backfield lining up a little bit in front of the quarterback. 3 pass plays. So we'll see how that plays out with the line injuries and the run game.
Key guys to watch on that Pioneer defense. Nick Collins is number 7. Joe Rose 86. They make up that defensive line along with Will Hughes. Looking for a little bit of retribution this week after a tough Thursday night last week against Zeeland West. 2nd and 10 for DeHaan. Empty backfield now. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left.
Yep, tight end.
Takes the shotgun snap, guns it over the middle. He had a man for Moss at the 36, but Jake couldn't hang on. Incomplete. Good route. Sailors have to be pleased so far the way they're getting separation. Guys are open here on these first 4 pass plays.
Yeah, the corners are playing off just a little bit, so if you're South Christian, take what they can give you.
First third down for South Christian. Don last week at GRC was 13 of 20 for 156 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He ran for 62 as well. It's a key part of his game, tuck it and run. On 3rd and 10 from the 28, out of the gun, straight back to throw. Here comes the rush. He'll escape it, rolls to his left, now stops, flips it complete to front of him at the 40. He's got room at the left sideline. Finally knocked out of bounds at the 48 of East Grand Rapids. Pushing him out was Connor Callahan, but not before DeHaan hit him for a 22-yard gain. Great poise by the quarterback.
Absolutely. The blitz came right up the middle again, which I think is where East Grand Rapids is going to attack all night long, blitzing up the middle, and DeHaan made a great read, rolled out, and delivered a great ball.
2 interior linemen for South Christian out of the lineup tonight. Cam Post and Cam Van Solkema. They are returning starters. And thus far, South Christian has gone to the air to compensate for that. Empty backfield again at the East Grand Rapids 49. They'll fake the jet sweep to Vermas. DeHaan does, keeps it over left guard, stuck right there at the line of scrimmage. Will Hughes got him first. No gain for the quarterback.
Number 78, Sipple.
Jake DeHaan in his first year as a starter, of course, replaced the injured Ty Reinbrandt in the playoffs last year with a 7-touchdown performance against Hamilton. 17 of 20 for 322 yards and 7 touchdowns in his starting debut. Not a bad way to begin your career.
As a sophomore, no less.
He overlooks a 3-man Pioneer front with an H-back to the left. Rolls right, guns it over the middle. It's intercepted by Joe Rose at the 42. Angles to the sideline, tackled there at the 49 by Jack Skurd. Bryce, I'm not sure that DeHaan saw Rose because he threw it right to him.
Yep, the linebackers again blitz right up the middle. It's what we've seen all night long, and DeHaan just unfortunately could not handle the pressure and a great anticipation.
They brought the blitz up the middle, but then they snuck Rose, the defensive end, and dropped him back. And he just was in a spot where I don't think Jake ever saw him. And literally, DeHaan threw the ball right to the Pioneers' defensive end. Good scheme there by East Grand Rapids defense. First turnover of the game with 7:20 to go. East Grand Rapids 1st and 10 at the South Christian 48. Single setback. Takes the handoff. That's the backup running back. Jack Higgins now into the game for Caswell. He angles off the right side. Maybe got a yard before Fenema dropped him at the 47.
Down and 9.
East will go with Grady, Higgins, and Caswell in that backfield. So far, they have not thrown the football.
No, and if you've been around West Michigan football for the past 20 years, that Grady name is pretty familiar, huh?
He is one of in the lineage of Calvin and DeMarcus and Kevin. What a run they had for East Grand Rapids over the last couple decades. 2nd and 9, play action pass. Berniker looks to the right, throws. That's intercepted by Colton Skur at the 41, outside the numbers. Colton Skur steps in front of Joe Rose, picks off the Berniker pass, and these two teams trade interceptions here in the first quarter. Another linebacker pick. Again, he dropped perfectly into the throwing lane. I'm not sure Berniker saw him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was just a bad read or if that's the hands. But a great defensive play again there by South Christian Sailors and Berniker.
Colton Skur with a team-leading 6 tackles against Grand Rapids Christian last week. Figures to be the mainstay of that defense, and he comes up with a big play for the Sailors. 1st and 10 at their own 44, 6.5 to go. No score. Sailors send Fenema wide to the right, 3 receivers to the left. H-back, and we've got a whistle and a timeout by Danny Brown. That offense looked a little discombobulated.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Sobey Company. For over 85 years, Sobey Company has been a premier commercial construction contractor, specializing in everything from walls and ceilings to floors and insulation. We've been part of almost every large commercial construction project in West Michigan, including the newly constructed South Christian High School, as well as the Byron Center Christian renovations and the 2 expansion projects at Dutton Christian. Our skilled and talented craftsmen can make any interior dream you have on a construction project a reality. Go Sailors!
Tonight's game brought to you by Cherry Valley Concrete. Glad to have them along with Zobe Company, Van Solkema Family Farms, and Tough Turf Molebusters as 4 of our South Christian sports sponsors. Also great to have the East Grand Rapids folks along. Benton Toyota, Benton Auto Imports sponsors for East Grand Rapids football. And glad to have all these companies supporting high school football. Most of the games in high school football in West Michigan were played last night. A few scores from the OK White, which is the league that East Grand Rapids plays in. Caledonia blanked Lowell 35-0. Northview did the same to Wyoming 24-0. Jenison pounded Forest Hills Northern 34-3, and Unity Christian blitzed Grand Rapids Christian 58-21. Crusaders haven't punted yet this year. 1st and 10 for Jake DeHaan. He'll fake the handoff to Vermas, keep it around left end, gets to the edge and steps out of bounds at the 49, right at midfield. A 6-yard scamper for Jake and a nice gain on 1st down.
Yeah, Bob, that play looked like it was headed up the middle, and DeHaan had to call an audible in real time, and was able to get outside, and nice block by the receiver on the left side, Jack Skur.
Jake DeHaan, considered by Danny Brown to be an incredibly cerebral quarterback, compares him to John Wasink in that respect. And we know what John did here at South Christian, leading the Sailors to 2 state titles. DeHaan with a hard count, and he gets Connor Callahan to jump off that right edge. That's a 5-yard mark-off, and it'll be an automatic 1st down for South Christian. Bryce, you'll see a lot tonight. Jake DeHaan with a lot of read options, and they're not just running plays. He'll read the defensive end, hand off or tuck it and keep it himself, but he'll also do a lot of RPOs, run-pass options. He is just that kind of a leader and a quarterback who can make those decisions.
And having a quarterback you can trust with an RPO offense is crucial. And to see DeHaan be able to make these decisions, that's going to be the key to South Christian's success.
Empty backfield now for Jake. 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line for the Sailors. Vermas in motion. They'll give it to him on a jet sweep, right to left. He is thrown down right at the line of scrimmage. Nathias Grady, 6'2", 220 pounds, dumped Vermas for no gain.
Bob, I think that was the first time tonight that East Grand Rapids did not blitz their linebackers, and it ended up working quite well, being able to keep contained on that sweep.
Grady last week against Zeeland West, and that linebacker spot got sucked in on a lot of those play fakes, and a couple of times the Ducks were able to scoot around the end. Not on this one, though, as he read it well. 2nd and 10 for DeHaan. Ball at the left hash. 3 receivers split wide to the right. Man coverage. DeHaan straight back to throw. Lobs it down the left sideline over the head of Fenema. Pretty good coverage out there by Higgins. Incomplete. He'll set up 3rd and 10. 5.5 to play here in the 1st quarter. No score.
Gotta like shots like that, though. Those are the type of shots to keep the defense honest. Whether you convert it or not, it's going to keep those safeties from creeping up on the offensive line.
We still have not seen a typical running play by South Christian yet. There's been 1 jet sweep and a couple quarterback keepers. Sailors really spreading it out, going to the air here in the 1st quarter. Empty backfield again for Jake DeHaan. Pioneers show blitz. Now they back off. DeHaan will roll to the right. He is thrown down back at the 47-yard line on a terrific pursuit play by Kyle Grant. Just dumped him at the 47. A loss on that play of 8 yards. He came from the right side, and just pure speed as DeHaan had to slow down, made the sack.
Looks like he was looking for Skur on the right side, and he pump faked. It looked like it was there, but I didn't feel comfortable throwing it. East Grand Rapids with a big 3rd down sack.
4th down, Nate Brinks on to boot it away for the Sailors with 5 minutes to go here in this 1st quarter. He'll kick deep to Damian Fortson, a dangerous return man, standing at his own 14. High snap, corralled by Brinks. Boots it, lazy spiral to hit at the 25. It'll take a Sailor roll beautifully inside the 5-yard line. That's going to be downed at the 1. How about that? That's a 52-yard punt by Nate Brinks.
Bob,
20 of it on a roll.
The 1-yard line is generous. That's about the 1-inch yard. That's about as good of a punt as you can ever get.
And Bryce, I'll tell you, I've seen this so much in high school football, and it just is. This is another example of it. Return guys have got to catch the ball. You've got to catch it, particularly on these turfs where the ball rolls like that. It's happened so often where the return guy will back away and the ball kicks towards to the goal line for another 10, 15 yards that happened there.
Yep.
So the Pioneers are pinned deep back at their own 1 yard line to start. Mentioned some of the scores from last night in the OK Gold. Rockford down Cedar Springs 35-6. Forest Hills Eastern defeated Holland Christian 34-7. Ottawa Hills got by Benton Harbor 20-12. Kenowa Hills dispensed of Greenville 30-7, and Coopersville shut out Wayland 42-0. 1st and 10, direct snap on the Wildcat to Matthias Grady. He slings it out in the right flat to Oscar Osborne. He's got it along the sideline, breaks a tackle at the 20, and goes up over the 40-yard line for a 42-yard gain. Matthias Grady on the shotgun Wildcat. I think South thought he was going to run.
What a play call. On your 1-inch yard line to bring your running back out, your fullback linebacker out, thinking they're going to run Wildcat, and instead he takes it back and drops it to a corner route for a big 40-yard conversion there. Gutsy play call, but you got to love it from East Grand Rapids.
Oscar Osborne, senior tight end, snuck out on that play and was wide open and then broke a tackle. He caught a couple passes last week and hits a big one here. They go Wildcat again. Grady's got it over left tackle. Breaks 2, 3, 4 tackles, drags a host of Sailors with him to the 49-yard line where he's finally dropped by Cashin, but that's a 7-yard gain. He's a load.
He is absolutely a load, and he keeps those feet moving. You're going to have to do more than arm tackles to bring Grady down.
3.5 to play in the scoreless first quarter. David Berniker, well taped on that right throwing hand. He's only attempted one pass tonight. It was intercepted, so you can see how Casey Longo is kind of going with some alternatives for his offense, given the fact that his quarterback's probably not 100%. 2nd and 3 from their own 49. They send 3 receivers to the left, give it to Caswell off right tackle. It breaks a tackler at the line of scrimmage and then spins his way to the 44 where he's finally dropped by Daniel Klump.
East Grand Rapids is getting very, very creative with their play calling. There are different run sets, options that they have. That's what they're going to need tonight with a banged-up quarterback, and they're executing these run plays very nicely.
That left tackle, big number 71, Robbie Kolkowski. The center is number 69, Hayden Bentley. They're creating some nice holes thus far for their backs. Jeremy James in motion as an H-back, quick pitch to Caswell. He gets to the left edge, but then it closes quickly as Skewer and Robbie Layler came over to make the stop, held him to just a 2-yard gain. Good pursuit by the Sailor linebackers.
Yep. And there's on that contain again. Clayton Cam keeping the outside edge clean and bringing that play back inside. Let the rest of his guys make the tackle.
Sailor secondary lines up with Clayton Cam at safety along with Peter Veldhuisen. The corners are Jake Vermas and Jace DeMann, who had 3 interceptions last week against Grand Rapids Christian to go with his 3 against the Eagles last year in the playoffs. He's caught more Eagles passes than their receivers in the last 2 games. 2nd and 8 for the Pioneers. They fake the pitch. Now Berniker throws over the middle. He's got a man. It's Oscar Osborne at the 27. Good strike by Berniker. That was in front of the aforementioned DeMann. That's a first down on a 16-yard strike from the quarterback to his tight end.
Yep. Big time throw by Berniker there. Post route by Oscar Osborne, and he committed to it. And a great strike for an injured hand.
Osborne coming up big on this drive. He's got 2 receptions for 56 yards. From the 27, 1st and 10 with a minute to go here in this first quarter, no score. Berniker on a little counter play to Caswell. Nice play by Colton Square to wrap him up right at the line. He did fall forward to the 23 for a 4-yard gain. That was, again, a little trick play there in a sense that Berniker rolled right and then handed off to a countering Caswell.
Again, just fantastic play calling right now by East Grand Rapids, keeping it creative, keeping it fresh, knowing that the run game is going to be so important tonight, and keeping things interesting, keeping things on their toes. Fortunately for South Christian, it was a great play by Colton Skur.
2nd and 6 from the 23. Whistle on a fast-moving first quarter here. And now we restart. Berniker last week against Zeeland was 6 of 7 for 58 yards before he was hurt. Out of the shotgun, they give us to Caswell. He is bottled up right at the 24-yard line. DeMann with some good run support. Cashin was there, so was Dykema. Sailors snuffed that one out, and that's the way the first quarter will end. We'll step aside. We've played 12 minutes. It's been a good one. No score, South Christian and East Grand Rapids from Kentwood High School.
Earning a college degree means you don't have to go it alone.
We have 3 students at Cornerstone, and they all enjoy their interactions with the campus community, but most specifically with their professors.
At Cornerstone University, we are dedicated to your success.
They have found growth, they have found connection, and they have found community.
Start today by applying at cornerstone.edu. That's cornerstone.edu.
Tired of showering? Well, have we got a solution for you?
We interrupt this commercial with good news from your good neighbor. State Farm has new lower car insurance rates, which means you can save more cash and get the service and convenience of a local State Farm agent. That's right, State Farm now has new lower auto rates with their same good neighbor service. It's the real deal for car insurance, folks. And now this.
Bill Cole Agency in East Grand Rapids, 458-4994.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777.
Back with you as we start the second quarter. East Grand Rapids on the move. Nathias Grady on a handoff picks up the first down on a big 3rd and 4 as he lumbers his way down to the 13-yard line.
And if you're just joining us for the start of the second quarter, important to note that this drive started on the 1-inch yard line on the other side of the field, thanks to a 40-yard, felt like almost a trick play, Wildcat run, or Wildcat pass, excuse me.
From the 13 of South Christian, Pioneers in the red zone. Berniker turns, gives it to the big fella. Grady sidesteps a tackler at the line of scrimmage and then again just drags, but he fumbles the football at the 5. It's recovered by Vermas. A flag on the play. If that's holding, that's going to be a South Christian turnover by that Sailor defense. And it is. South Christian forces a big fumble as Grady, with a terrific sidestep jitterbug move, finds his way down to the 4 and then coughed it up.
Yeah, it looked like the right tackle for East Grand Rapids got caught maybe sleeping, and the inside edge for South Christian came in, and he grabbed some jersey, and flag was thrown. And
Jake Vermas was the one that just grabbed that ball out of midair for that fumble recovery. So East Grand Rapids with their second turnover tonight. That stalls the drive. 1st and 10 for the Sailors at their own 7. Dahan out of the shotgun. He's got Chandler Van Solkema to his right against that 3-man down lineman. Give us to Van Solkema over left tackle, wrapped up by Hughes. He's had a great first half. Gain of maybe 4.
Tackled by number 78, Sipple. Gain of about a yard, second down.
Actually, he didn't get 4. He got only 1. The ball was actually marked at the 6. So 2nd and 9 from the 7. Chandler Van Solkema last week was the Sailors' leading runner as a running back. 12 carries for 36 yards. He's back there with Dahan, and a whistle and a timeout by East Grand Rapids, and we'll take a break. No score, 10:37 to go in the second. South Christian and East Grand Rapids in a good one.
At Culver's, we cook our butter burgers pretty much the same as you would at home. Only our 3-cut blend of fresh beef will do. Then you'll need to master our signature press and sear technique. You may want to practice a few thousand times. Add real Wisconsin cheese, top with a lightly buttered toasted bun, and serve yourself with a big warm smile.
Better yet, come to Culver's and leave the whole cook-to-order Butterburger thing to us. Welcome to Delicious.
You're listening to East Grand Rapids Pioneer Football on the Ticket, 106.1 FM, 1340 AM, 1490 AM Muskegon, and MichiganSportsRadio.com.
All right, great to have with you. Great to have us at your radio side on AM 1340 The Ticket, as well as Michigan Sports Radio. South Christian on 2nd and 9, a delay handoff to Van Solkema. He cuts his way over right tackle and then back towards the middle of the field. Picked up about 6. So here's this, Bryce, a big 3rd and 2 for the Sailors to stay on the field right now.
I understand the Sailors are in the back, or in the shadow of their own end zone, but 2 plays right up the middle where East Grand Rapids has been attacking all night with linebacker blitzes.
3rd and 2. Single setback is Van Solkema to DeHaan's left. Key 3rd down play. DeHaan with a hard count. Almost got Hughes to jump. 4 down lineman now. Nick Collins is defensive end with a hand in the dirt on the left side. Snap is a good one. DeHaan's going to throw for the first down. Lofts it out in the right flat, complete to Tanner Bawalda. He's got a first down up over the 25 to the 30. How about that on 3rd and 2, a 15-yard pickup as the Sailors dispel the run game and throw for it on 3rd and 2.
Taking what the defense is giving them, those defensive backs. I believe that was the safety coming up and covers there on the slot, giving them a lot of cushion, and on that 5-yard out route by South Christian, easy conversion.
South Christian gets some breathing room. 1st and 10 from their own 30 on the right hash. 9:14 to go, still no score in this exciting first half. It's had a lot of action despite no points. DeHaan fakes the handoff to a sweeping Van Solkema and then dives his way over the right side for 12 yards over the 40 to the 42. It was Nick Rowland and Kyle Grant on the stop. That was a nice read by Jake DeHaan to find the hole.
Not often tonight they've had the running back to the direct right or left side of the running back, and now, or excuse me, the quarterback, and now we're seeing that, and it's paying dividends in the South Christian run game. Again, running back off to the right of the quarterback.
Really the first series they've done that. Sailors went empty backfield most of the first quarter, and only on this drive have they used Chandler Van Solkema as that running back. 5-man front for East Grand Rapids now. Linebackers cheat up. DeHaan to throw. Lofts it left flat, incomplete over the head at the 45-yard line to Bawalda, who's been his favorite target today. Coverage on the play by Brendan Burns, who slid out from his linebacker spot. Jake just airmailed it a bit.
I don't want to pull a Tony Romo here, but I feel like this would be a great opportunity for South Christian to take a shot. Run play, out route, pass play. Let's see if we can keep that defense a little bit honest. Take a shot downfield.
Pioneer secondary has Damian Fortson at the free safety spot. Right corner is Ryan Reska. Now Burns at the right linebacker spot. Drops off. DeHaan will play action. He's going to keep it and run it. He is trying to probe his way for any type of yardage. Can't do it. Kyle Grant was there, so was Nick Collins. They drop him right at the line of scrimmage on that read option for Jake DeHaan. Carried 14 times for 62 yards last week and 2 touchdowns. Biggest run was a 48-yard TD scamper, so he was fairly well contained except for that one play by Grand Rapids Christian. 3rd and 9, obviously a passing situation here for the Sailors. 3 wideouts to the right. Tight end to the left side. Grant, as the defensive end shows blitz, here he comes. DeHaan will roll to his right. Now stops, throws down the field over the head, just off the outstretched fingertips of Tanner Bawalda at the East Grand Rapids 45 by the numbers. 4th down and 9. South Christian will have to boot it away.
4th down.
I'm impressed with East Grand Rapids blitz schemes. You're seeing a lot of defensive ends dropping back, linebackers coming up into place, and there that pressure I think got to DeHaan, made that post route a tough throw.
He's been a little high, Bryce, on a lot of his tosses here in the first half. And usually that's a sign, like you said, that defense is just making him a little bit uncomfortable on his release. Brings back the kick at his own 30. End over end kick is caught by Fortson at the 23 and then dropped at the 23. He avoids a tackler at the 25, angles to the right sideline. He's got room at the 40 and then is chased out of bounds at the 41 on a good tackle by the punter, Nate Brinks. 1st and 10 on a 18-yard return that appeared to be disastrous for a moment for EGR.
Brinks, the kicker.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Benton Baker. It's where Michigan shops. We know you've heard about the chip shortages and driven past all the dealerships with empty lots. Well, that simply isn't the case at Benton Baker, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Lowell. We currently have 93 new vehicles on the ground at our brand new facility that is only 15 minutes away from the stadium on M21. Much better than fighting traffic on 28th Street at Plainfield Avenue. We have 35 new Ram trucks in stock, including top-of-the-line limited night editions. We have 50 new Jeep SUVs, including luxury 3-row Grand Cherokee, also on reserve. Make a short drive out to Lowell and find the new Ram or Jeep you've been looking for.
1st and 10 for the Pioneers. They go out on the power eye. Give it to Grady off left tackle on that ISO play. Picked up a couple to the 43. 2nd and 8 for the Pioneers at their own 43-yard line. I did not expect a scoreless game deep into the second stanza here. I thought these two teams would put up some points, and both teams have moved the ball. They just cannot finish. Turnovers have cost the Pioneers. South Christian picking up first downs, but just not able to sustain drives. Again, out of the power eye, Grady the up back. Caswell dots the eye. They'll fake to him. Straight back to throws Berniker, going deep down the field, intended for Callahan. Too far, though. Pretty good coverage out there by Peter Veldhuisen, step for step with Connor Callahan down over on that post route at the 30-yard line.
EGR is looking for that flag. A little bit of grabbing, a little bit of pushing and shoving at the end of the pass there, but I think all things considered a pretty clean play. Bob, I also asked, too, you think that's a pass that he makes with that hand's full strength?
Yeah, great point. If you joined us late, David Berniker, the East Grand Rapids starting quarterback, injured his hand at the end of the second quarter last week against Zeeland West. He is starting tonight. He's heavily taped on that throwing hand. I can't imagine that there's not a little difficulty in gripping the ball like you normally do with all that cloth on the hand. 3rd down and 8 for the Pioneers. They send 2 out to the right, 2 out to the left for Berniker. Caswell, the running back, out of the offset pistol. Callahan in motion left to right. Here comes the Sailors with a 5-man rush. They're giving chase to Berniker. They got a beat on him at the 35. He eludes the rush. Now throws. It's intercepted at the 42-yard line along the sideline.
I don't know if he got a foot down. Yeah.
Jeff Cashin slid over from that linebacker spot. Great coverage by South Secondary. Cashin stepped in front of that throw, but he, as you said, just had that left foot on the boundary, so it's ruled incomplete. Nonetheless, a good stand by South Christian. They'll force a Pioneer punt.
Looked like he was looking for Connor Callahan going deep on looked like a go route, and it just wasn't there. Great coverage by South Christian, and great work by Berniker to evade the pressure, but yeah, great coverage there by South Christian.
Really nearly a defensive secondary sack, but Berniker was able to get rid of it and force the incompletion. Nick Collins on the kick. Rugby style sends a high, short, end-over-end boot. This one takes a sailor bounce, hits at the 32, and flips back to the 37, where it's downed by Ryan Oreska. So a punt of only net 22 yards by Nick Collins. And the Sailors now in a game that's sort of turning into a field position battle with 6:08 to go in the second quarter.
It really is. I mean, both offenses have been really moving the ball. South Christian more so through the air, East Grand Rapids on the ground, but moving the ball hasn't been an issue. It's just getting in the end zone. Nate DeHaan is 4 for 10 right now. A couple errant throws, a couple high throws. You can get locked in. This game could turn around.
On 1st and 10, quick bubble screen to Bawaldi. He's got a couple of blockers out there. Crosses the 40 outside the numbers to the 45 and up to the 49-yard line before he's finally chased down by Brendan Burns. Tanner Bawaldi with a good catch and run. That picks up 14 yards and a first down for the Sailors. I like that call. DeHaan's been struggling a little bit with his accuracy. Get a quick out to Bawalda, a very simple pass, and see if you can get the rhythm going for your quarterback again. Now 3 receivers to the left. They draw single coverage on the wide side of the field. Ball at the right hash on the 48. Gives the Chandler Van Salkema right up the gut. He is dropped by Grady and also Kyle Grant, maybe a couple on the play. Sailors seem to have moved the ball on the ground a little bit better since Van Salkema came in, and they run the formation with the running back. Of course, really, the ground game in the first quarter with no running back was simply Jake DeHaan.
Yep.
From midfield, 2nd and 8, 4:50 to go here in the second quarter. In a fast-moving first half. 4 down linemen for East Grand Rapids. DeHaan scrambling for his life along the left side, throws over the middle. He's got a man at the 40-yard line, caught and then fumbled. Bawalda caught the football, was hit from behind. The ball was recovered by the Pioneers. Reska fell on it. Another turnover at the 30-yard line. Great play by Jake DeHaan to find the receiver, but a better hit by the secondary for East Grand Rapids.
Bob, I think that was a broken play. I think DeHaan was looking for a screen pass or a short route on the outside, and the wide receivers were going out for routes, so he had to scramble. Unfortunately, he made a great throw. But fortunately for East Grand Rapids, though, better tackle, causing the fumble.
So the 4th turnover of the game, each team with 1 interception and 1 fumble that they have committed. 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. Ends in tight, balanced line.
High formation, high school football.
Grady dotting the I, has it over left tackle and powers his way over the 35 to the 36. Dykema was there to make the stop. So was Klump. Gain of 6, and that is, again, I hate to state the obvious, Bryce, but he is a load when he's out of that 7-yard formation behind the line of scrimmage and takes the handoff in that zone blocking play.
Yep. A big boy coming downfield.
He'll dot the I again. The up back is Jeremy James. Grady back at the 29, 7 yards off the line. He's got it again. Same play over left tackle. Only a couple this time. Dykema threw him to the ground at the 38. Sets up a big 3rd and 2 as the Pioneer offense tries to stay on the field here.
That's a punishing play, though, from the offense. Get a big guy like that in the I formation, getting 2-3 yards a pop. I mean, that's how you wear down a defense. And South's bringing in a handful of reserves for this play, so trying to keep those legs fresh against these big boys.
Noah Seitzma back in the game at that defensive tackle spot. Daniel Klump as well. 3rd and 2 from the 38, 3 minutes to go. They overload the right side. It's a wildcat for Grady to the right side. Tries to get to the edge. Can't do it. He's dropped. Now breaks a tackle at the 38. Lunges forward. He's close to a 1st down. It all depends on where they spot it. Terrific pursuit by South Christian. They bottled him up, and I think he's going to be about a foot short. All right, if you're Casey Longo here on 4th and 1 from your 39, what do you do?
Bob, I think you got to go for it. The way this game has gone, I think you got to keep the ball moving. I love that set by East Grand Rapids. There, 2 tight ends on the right side with what looked to be a wing back, and then a speed sweep to the right side. That's that creative play calling again. It's a different set.
And South had Grady nailed in the backfield, but he was able to elude. Now he lines up at the fullback spot on 4th and 1 from their own 39. They'll go for it. Ends in tight. Caswell, the back of the eye. Sailors show blitz.
It's like a hard count.
South Christian not biting. East Grand Rapids trying to lure them offside. They don't do it, and the Pioneers will take a timeout. Good discipline by the Sailors, and we'll take a timeout as well. Come back after this for that big 4th down play.
Once again, tonight's game is being broadcast live on MichiganSportsRadio.com. Listen to the game, go to Michigan.
As families and communities across Michigan gear up for an historic back-to-school season, Dean Transportation is looking for compassionate people to join their dedicated team of school bus drivers. They offer competitive wages and paid training, quality benefits, flexible schedules, and most of all, endless opportunities to make a difference. Apply today at deanjobs.com to join this critical effort to help students return to learn this fall. deanjobs.com.
From the Booth Ilaski Grebenstuck Insurance Studio, we're The Ticket. AM 1340 WJRW, W291DJ 1061 FM Grand Rapids, AM 1490 WBBL Whitehall.
Pioneers will kick it away here with 3:08 to go in this scoreless second quarter. Nick Collins standing back at his 25. Rugby boot, again, a high, lazy end-over-end kick that'll angle out of bounds at about the 35. So South Christian really Bryce, the last 7-8 minutes of this game has been played between the 30s.
Yeah, it really has. It really has. And these teams are even right now, just on the offensive side. We're just talking about how this game has gone and how it's flowed and how pivotal these turnovers have been, because this game's pretty even. East Grand Rapids is a total of 117 yards. South Christian has a total of 106. That just shows how close this is. And again, like you said, played between the 20s.
Only one time has one of the offenses moved inside the red zone. East Grand Rapids got down to the 13, actually the 5-yard line before Grady fumbled. That's the closest we've seen to a score. From their own 38, 1st and 10 for South Christian. DeHaan turns, fakes to Van Solkum, and out keeps it up the middle. He's got room over the 45 to the 50 and inside Pioneer territory down to the 44. Finally tripped up by Damian Forts and a 16-yard scamper by the quarterback with, again, a terrific read by Jake DeHaan.
DeHaan's patience in finding those holes and waiting for those blocks to happen is really impressive just for a junior quarterback, showing his experience and savviness out there.
All summer long, he worked with John Wasink, the former All-Stater and Western Michigan starter, and John tutored him well on a lot of those zone reads. And Jake DeHaan making it work tonight against a very good East Grand Rapids opponent. Now they go offset pistol with Van Solkema as the running back. He'll take the handoff. Big hole over the middle. He's inside the 30, down to the 25, the 20. Lumbers his way to the 10-yard line before he's finally run down by Fortson after a 36-yard scamper by Chandler Van Solkema. 1st and goal, South Christian at the East Grand Rapids 10-yard line. What a hole by that offensive line.
Goodness.
Sam Zalstra, Emmett Bird, Dan Niewick opening the hole up there. Good block as well from Kendon Fenema, who's one of those replacement linemen. And Jake DeHaan goes over and slaps those guys on the helmet because they really did do a terrific job creating a big hole for Chandler Van Solkema.
And Van Solkema at the end of that play putting both hands on that ball, knowing they cannot afford another turnover, especially on the opposing team's 10-yard line.
Crucial opportunity here for South Christian. First time they've been in the red zone. Stoppage of play, Bryce. I'm not sure what the reason is.
It's an official timeout. I don't know what for, though.
And East Grand Rapids will take a timeout. So will we. Don't go away. South Christian 1st and goal on the 10 when we return.
For almost 60 years, Earhart Construction has successfully built some of the most well-known structures and facilities across the West Michigan landscape. These projects set the foundation for where we are today. Providing a distinctive construction experience for our clients has been Earhart's priority since the beginning, and it continues to be their primary focus today. We can't wait to make your next commercial or residential project a reality. Contact us today by visiting earhartcc.com. Again, that's earhartcc.com.
And tonight's game is also brought to you by Paris Motors. For over 60 years, Paris Motors has done our best to provide reliable transportation at a fair price. Check out our website at parismotors.com. We'd love to earn your business.
I think the delay there was to get the clock reset. That clock had ticked down to 108. It's been reset at 2:02. So 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. First and goal for the Sailors. Quick bubble screen to Bewalde. He's got it at the numbers at the 10, inside the 5, struggles toward the goal line. Fortson wraps him up at the 2. A nice pickup there. That play's worked well. Good blocking by the receiver Fenema, getting out to seal the linebacker, and Bewalde was able to squirm his way for about 7 yards.
And that play right there, even though it's in the red zone, is a result of that inside running game for South Christian. That slot receiver had no one over him. Safety was playing inside because he had to watch out for that inside run game, leaving that slot back wide open on that screen.
I think Danny Brown wants to milk a little clock here and make sure that South Christian limits the amount of time East Grand Rapids has with the football near the end of the first half. First things first, though, South needs to get to the end zone. Offset eye. Again, a different formation for South Christian with that H-back. Van Solkema's got it over left guard, plows his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Chandler Van, not yet, hold on. I thought he was able to get in, and he did. Chandler Van Solkema with a 3-yard touchdown plunge, and South Christian strikes first. Van Solkema with a big roll on this TD drive. 36-yard run to set up first and goal at the 10. And then he let his legs do the rest on that second and goal from the 2. With a minute to go here in the first half, Sailors on top, 6-0. Nate Brinks on for the extra point attempt.
And no doubt about it, that was the result of Van Solkema's long run. He deserved that touchdown right there. Took that first hit, got an end zone.
PAT is good, 7-0 Sailors, minute to go. We'll be right back.
Tired of showering? Well, have we got a solution for you?
We interrupt this commercial with good news from your good neighbor. State Farm has new lower car insurance rates, which means you can save more cash and get the service and convenience of a local State Farm agent. That's right, State Farm now has new lower auto rates with their same good neighbor service. It's the real deal for car insurance, folks. And now this.
Bill Cole Agency in East Grand Rapids, 458-4994.
Great to have you with us tonight here on this Friday evening, Labor Day weekend. Don't forget, Michigan Sports Radio is your spot for all the high school football coverage all year long. Great website at michigansportsradio.com. Standings, schedules, scores, recaps every week to give you really the best coverage in West Michigan for high school football. Tomorrow afternoon, Michigan Sports Radio has a great matchup over on the northeast side of town at Cougar Athletic Trail. John Matlack will be Mike's side as the Cougars host Merrillville, Indiana Andrean, one of the top teams in the Gary, Indiana area. They feature a player who's been offered by Clemson, Alabama, Notre Dame, and a host of others. They'll go up against, of course, a very good Grand Rapids Catholic Central team. That's tomorrow at 4 o'clock right here on Michigan Sports Radio.
Bob, that 3-yard Van Solkema touchdown was capped off a 4-play, 62-yard Sailor drive, touchdown drive that resulted mostly in yards on the ground, putting South Christian up 7-0 with just over a minute left in this first half. This fun, action-packed first half.
For a game that's 7-0, it has had a lot of action and a lot of excitement in the first 24 minutes. So, Bryce, if you're East Grand Rapids now, you got 80 yards to go, only a minute left. You have just one timeout remaining. If you're Casey Longo, do you try to put some points on the board, or you, in a sense, just run out the clock, knowing you do kick to start the third quarter?
Yeah, I think you play this first down, so you can get on the ground for this first down. East Grand Rapids has been able to pick up big chunk plays, and I think you play. You see how this first down goes, and play it by ear. Because, yeah, you're too far back to give the ball back up and risk going down potentially 2 scores.
Yeah, 3 incomplete passes, and you're punting away, giving the South Christian Sailors a short field. Let's see if Longo rolls the dice or whether he'll play conservative here to end the first half.
I think given how this game has gone, I think you're fortunate to be down 1 touchdown.
Back to throw. They set up the screen. It's an inside screen to Fortson over the middle. He's got room at the 35. Cuts outside of the 40 to the 50. He's at the 40, the 30 down the right sideline, outside the numbers to the 10, 5, touchdown, East Grand Rapids.
Oh my goodness.
That answers our question.
Wow, that's like I said. See how the first play goes.
Damian Fortson on a little flanker screen. They snuck him behind the defensive line and in front of the linebackers, set up the blocking, and it's an 80-yard touchdown catch and run. Lightning strikes quickly for the Pioneers.
Bernecker is a playmaker. He stuck in the pocket and got crushed at the end of that to deliver a great ball for an 80-yard touchdown. Damian Fortson had that punt return where he kind of fumbled it and he made something out of nothing. That's what special players do. Special players score 80-yard screen pass touchdowns.
On to attempt the extra point is Nick Collins, and he pushed it to the right. So hold on to that one. That could be important as we move through this football game. 7-6, 47 seconds to go here in the second quarter. South Christian nursing a 1-point lead, and they'll get the ball with some time left here in the second quarter.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Van Dyken Mechanical, Inc. is a leader in industrial and commercial mechanical contracting. From design-build projects to ongoing maintenance services, their teams bring an unbeatable combination of expertise and integrity to the job. They have a sterling reputation in the West Michigan area with specific experience in pharmaceutical, manufacturing, healthcare, and educational facilities. Van Dyken Mechanical's mission is to provide superior quality HVAC system and services that exceed customer expectations. Since 1949, their teams have been committed to providing a personable experience with unwavering integrity.
Hey, stay with us at halftime. Want to bring you at the break, brought to you by Sobey Company. We'll be joined by John Ross from the Michigan High School Athletic Association as he provides This Week in High School Sports. David Kuhl stops by for his weekly chat as we take a look at the South Christian volleyball team and catch up on their progress here early in this fall 21 season.
I mean, would you expect anything less than what just happened there? Given how this game has gone and what we're seeing here, why not? You know, a one-play 80-yard screen pass touchdown.
And really, South Christian's done a pretty good job stopping the big play for the most part. They've given up a couple, as you said, chunk runs, but for the most part it contained the Pioneers all night long from the big play, but not on that one. So still time for Jake DeHaan's offense to get it going. Nick Collins has it teed up at the 40. He will kick deep to Jake Vermas standing at his goal line. The boot is a high end-over-end kick coming down to Vermas at the 5, right up the right hash, cuts out inside, and now lunges toward the 30. Will be dropped at about the 27-yard line. And first one in on the tackle was Blake Eisenhoff for the Pioneers. First and 10 for the 27. So now I gave you the same question. What does South Christian do with 40 seconds to go?
Yeah, I saw that one coming. I want to say the same thing, given how this game has gone, but maybe you take that knee and get into the halftime knowing you're tied up. Well, sorry, not tied. Up by 1.
The one difference is Sailors get the kickoff to start the second half, right, and that may alter the. And as you said, they are ahead by 1 point. So we'll see what Zach Blackwire and Danny Brown dial up here on first and 10 from the 27-yard line. They'll give it to Van Salkema around the right end, gets outside the numbers, dances along the boundary, and is pushed out of bounds at the 36. He picked up 8. And a really good call there and a good result. Still 2 timeouts left for the Sailors.
Yeah, I like that play call. Run to the right side. If there's nothing there, you get tackled in bounds, clock runs out. If you can get outside, get some big yards, and get out of bounds, stop the clock, keep that drive going.
Fortson was the leading receiver, by the way, last week for East Grand Rapids against Zeeland West. 3 catches for 20 yards. But nothing as electrifying as what he just did on that screenplay. 3 receivers split out to the wide left side for DeHaan. Single setback is Van Salkema. He'll give it to him off right tackle. He's got a hole and busts his way out over the 40 to the 44. Grant, who's been very active in that linebacking role, makes the tackle at the 44. 28 seconds to go in the second quarter. Danny Brown will take a timeout here. And so will we. Stay with us. Final 28 seconds coming up.
Hey, we get it. Right now, searching for the right college is a challenge. At Ferris State, we turn challenge into opportunity so that you don't have to put your life on hold. Study in person, online, or both, whatever's right for you. Our virtual admissions tools let you connect, explore, and enroll. Ferris State University, we're ready when you are to help you move Ferris forward. Go to ferris.edu/now to apply free.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Benson Imports on 28th Street. Treat your needs with paramount concern. We sell and service all Volkswagen, Mercedes-Benz, and Volvo models. We'll meet your automotive needs and wants from anywhere. We know that you have high expectations as a car dealer. We enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Talk to our professionals in sales and services, see our Volkswagen, Mercedes-Benz, and Volvo inventory, and allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. BentonImports.com, your key to your next vehicle.
1st and 10 for the Sailors. 28 seconds to go here in the first half. They have the ball on their own 44-yard line. Pioneers with a real soft-looking secondary here, giving a lot of cushion. DeHaan straight back to throw out of the gun. Looks down the field, now over the middle. It's intercepted by Brendan Burns at the 45. He sprints down the left sideline, knocked out of bounds at the 33. And with 19 seconds to go, the Pioneers are back in business after DeHaan throws his second pick of the night.
That is exactly what you do not want to do. Throw a pick down the middle, allowing the defense to return it. I saw what he was looking at. He saw the post. I think he just might have underthrown it. Great play by East Grand Rapids to get the ball with enough time to put some points on the board.
Both interceptions by the Pioneers have come at the hands of linebackers who have dropped back in that coverage. And they have found that intended seam where Jake DeHaan wants to throw the football. So, 19 seconds to go. 1st and 10 for the Pioneers at the Sailor 33. They go shotgun. Caswell to Berniker's right. Grady's the H-back. Let's see if they run that way. Split wide to the right is Ian Masick. He's been quiet. Damian Fortson wide to the left, and before the snap, a flag on the play. I think that's going to be delay of game. It is. That'll push the Pioneers back 5 yards.
Bob, that is not a good penalty, given the situation, what they're trying to do right here.
Hey, Bryce, just to look across the field, here's a great example of the advancement of high school football over the years. East Grand Rapids with a tent by their bench and a large television screen in that tent for series where the defense is being instructed what to do. How about that? You never saw that when you were playing, huh?
Yeah, I feel like I wasn't playing that long ago. I did not see that.
From the 48, 1st and 15, Bernicle roll to the right, stops, throws down the right sideline at the 10-yard line, knocked away nicely by Jake Vermas, intended for Ian Masick at the 5, right at the numbers. Peter Veldhuizen was there also, great double coverage. The safety came over to give outstanding help.
Yep, that's exactly what you write up on the defense. Playing outfielder, knocking that pass down. Great play by Peter Veldhuizen.
Veldhuizen, the 6'1", 200-pound safety. He got a lot of size back there, getting his first start last week as a senior.
Bob, that setup with the TV is better than my living room. I talked to my wife about that.
I was going to say, I think I'll make sure that your wife knows that.
If she's listening, I'm sorry, babe.
From the 38, 11 seconds to go. Pioneers ends in tight again, and Danny Brown's going to take a timeout.
Timeout, Sailors.
So will we. 11 seconds when we return. Stay with us.
The Falling Warehouse in Cascade has just added the Monday morning quarterback. Have you ever wanted to get an interactive look at what it's like to be a quarterback? A virtual reality football simulator used by pro and college football teams as a training tool. Pick your play, take the snap, and run it against the defense of real defenders. Anyone can play. Everyone wants to play. There's no limitation on age or ability. Check it all out at thefallingwarehouse.com.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Healthcare Associates and Community Caregivers, our Grand Rapids home healthcare agency. We serve the greater Grand Rapids area, Traverse City, and Petoskey. We've been in business for over 30 years. Healthcare associates and community caregivers offer exceptional home care for families in Grand Rapids and West Michigan. When someone you love needs help, your life is never simple. We provide services for medically fragile children, elderly grandparents, dementia patients, closed head and spinal cord injuries, and many more. Healthcare associates and community caregivers can give you answers, solutions, and peace of mind.
2nd and 15 from the 38. 11 seconds to go here in this second quarter. South Christian on top, 7-6, trying to hold that lead, hold that serve, heading into the locker room at halftime. Berniker takes the shotgun snap, rolls left, throws back over the middle. He's got a man down at the 5. It's Masick, but Vermas came over and then tipped it, but it was caught by Ian Masick on the tip at the 1-yard line. Great play by Vermas. Pioneers still have a timeout left, 3 seconds to go. Quickly under center is Berniker.
I don't think I can handle the second half of this game.
And they'll down it at the 1 with 1 second to go. I thought East Grand Rapids still had a timeout left, and they didn't take it. All right, Bryce, go back and describe that play because it was a dandy.
Oh, my goodness. Quarterback rolled left, was actually looking left for a stop-and-go route, looking for Fordson, ended up throwing back to the middle of the field. The ball got tipped by South Christian safety. East Grand Rapids receiver on his back makes the catch on the 1-yard line. Just spectacular concentration.
Yeah, South Christian had him double covered down there, and Vermas made a beautiful tip on the ball. So here we go, 1 second to go. South Christian will try to stiffen that defense. Quarterbacks, no, they give us to Grady on the Wildcat, and he finds a hole over right side and romps into the end zone for the touchdown. Matthias Grady gives East Grand Rapids an unexpected halftime lead here, 12-7 on an absolutely crazy final 80 seconds of the first half. Oh my goodness, what a play by Berniker and Masick to set up that touchdown, and then they run a perfect Wildcat formation with Grady. Bergstrom to hold, Nick Collins on to attempt the extra point to give the Pioneers the lead by 6, and he drills it through, and that is the way an absolutely wild first half ends. East Grand Rapids 13, South Christian 7. Stay with us. Halftime coming up, the Sobey halftime show. We'll send you to East Lansing for the MHSA report, and then also be joined by David Kuhl a little bit later as well. All coming up, 13-7. What a first half here on Michigan Sports Radio, the Sailor Zone YouTube channel, BCTV, and AM 1340, 106.1 The Ticket.
Both stations follow OK Gold Conference football action before, during, and after games each week on 96.1.
If you're 18 years or older, AHC Hospitality is hiring for open positions at its downtown hotels. Starting pay is $14 an hour, paid weekly, with medical, dental, and health benefits, hotel discounts, and more. Positions include front desk, housekeeping, restaurant, and management roles at our 6 premier downtown hotels. Visit ahchospitality.com/careers to jumpstart your career at one of 6 world-class hotels in downtown Grand Rapids.
Earning a college degree means you don't have to go it alone.
We have 3 students at Cornerstone, and they all enjoy their interactions with the campus community, but most specifically with their professors.
At Cornerstone University, we are dedicated to your success.
They have found growth, they have found connection, and they have found community.
Start today by applying at cornerstone.edu. That's
Guess what? We're hiring at Culver's. That means if you're up for welcoming families with coworkers who feel like family, and you have a thing for fresh frozen custard, and for growing your career in a place you can be proud of, you're our kind of people. So join the Culver's team. Apply at culvers.jobs.
Say hello to a better home buying experience. Having a trusted Treadstone advisor in your corner makes all the difference. With 11 different loan types, Treadstone tailors your mortgage experience to meet your needs and exceed your expectations. Rooted in West Michigan, Treadstone is passionate about investing in local neighborhoods and businesses. As the most highly rated mortgage company in Michigan, Treadstone has proudly cultivated a reputation of excellence throughout the industry and the community. Call Treadstone today for any of your mortgage needs.
What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle? A combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more. Because a State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just 4 walls and 4 wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve?
Call State Farm agent Bill Cole in East Grand Rapids, 458-4994. Proud supporter of East Grand Rapids sports.
Bob Sack back with you here at Falcon Stadium on the campus of East Kentwood High School. It's halftime. South Christian and East Grand Rapids locked up in a good one. Pioneers lead at 13-7. South Christian, all the scoring really came in the last 2 minutes of the first half. South Christian used the Chandler Van Solkema 36-yard run to set up a 3-yard plunge from Van Solkema to give the Sailors the lead, 7-0. East Grand Rapids responded with a minute to go on an 80-yard screen pass to Damian Fortson for a touchdown. And then on the ensuing drive with just 40 seconds to go, the Pioneers picked off a Jake DeHaan pass, and then in the final 10 seconds of the quarter launched a long Hail Mary down to Ian Masick, caught at the 1-yard line, and then the great Matthias Grady scored to give the Pioneers a 13-7 lead at halftime. But a great first half, not a lot of points, but very exciting. That's where we are here at the half. Pleasure to welcome into the broadcast booth here at halftime Steve Ritzema from Treadstone Mortgage. Steve, welcome. Your thoughts on a very entertaining first half of football?
Yeah, it was entertaining. A lot of good defense, but both teams turned the ball over a couple times and kind of stymied some drives. But all in all, like you said, exciting first half.
Yeah, so. two great programs going at it. Pretty much what we expected for a Labor Day holiday weekend football game. So you're with us tonight because you're with Treadstone Mortgage, just a wonderful supporter of high school sports through Michigan Sports Radio and through South Christian High School. Give us a little bit of a background on Treadstone and why high school sports is so important to your company.
Like I said, Treadstone's been around since 2003. The two owners are two graduates from Catholic Central. Of course, they've got an incredible sports program there, and good rivals with them. And their feeling is they want to do advertising, but they want to be able to sponsor youth sports and high school sports. They don't want to just put stuff on billboards. They want to give money back to the communities, and we feel this is a good way to do it.
Tell us a little bit about what the products are that you offer. I think we know what it is. It's mortgage is a terrific product, but why is Treadstone different? What makes Treadstone a special mortgage company here in West Michigan?
Very good question. The biggest thing is we differentiate ourselves from the purchase market. So purchase transactions are really our number one bread and butter. We do them very fast. We do them very well. The experience that our customers get is outstanding. So purchase refis, that's really it, we specialize in those areas and we're really good at it.
All right, Steve, thank you for what you do for high school sports. Thank you for being part of the South Christian community and also being accessible to all of our good friends from East Grand Rapids watching as well, listening as well tonight. When we come back, after these messages, we'll take you to East Lansing. John Ross will join us and bring you This Week in High School Sports on the Michigan High School Athletic Association Network. 13-7 at halftime here on the Sobe Halftime Show. You are watching and listening to high school football on Michigan Sports Radio, Sailor Zone, YouTube, AM 1340 The Ticket, and BC TV.
The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame honors prominent West Michigan athletes. As part of their mission, the Hall of Fame presents annual events in support of West Michigan athletics and raises funds to support local youth organizations and charities. Events scheduled in 2021 include the Class of 2021 induction ceremony on Tuesday, September 28th, and the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame College Basketball Classic on Thanksgiving weekend. Go to grshof.com for all the information.
Say hello to a better home buying experience. Having a trusted Treadstone advisor in your corner makes all the difference. With 11 different loan types, Treadstone tailors your mortgage experience to meet your needs and exceed your expectations. Rooted in West Michigan, Treadstone is passionate about investing in local neighborhoods and businesses. As the most highly rated mortgage company in Michigan, Treadstone has proudly cultivated a reputation of excellence throughout the industry and the community. Call Treadstone today for any of your mortgage needs.
The first week of football is in the books, but this week we're focusing on the other football, soccer. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports. This is the start of the third week of game action for boys soccer, with almost all teams having a handful of games completed. The MHSAA tournament for soccer will look a lot like it has the past 2 years, with MPR being used to seed the top 2 teams in each district. This is the third year of the Michigan Power Ratings, or MPR, which takes wins, losses, and ties into account, but also opponents' winning percentage and opponents' winning percentage, a calculation that encourages teams to play other good teams. As in past years, district assignments are already known and posted to the MHSAA website. The bracket will be released on October 3rd, with the postseason starting October 13th. The MHSAA finals for the 4 divisions will be November 6th at both Comstock Park and Novi High Schools. Assistant Director Andy Freshour says the addition of MPR has increased excitement and attention around the soccer postseason.
We know coaches are checking the scoreboard every night. They're using it to check what their opponents have done, what future opponents are doing. And we know as the season progresses, the MPR numbers get more accurate and more accurate the more games are baked into the system. So that really causes fans to really pay attention to what the MPR numbers are later in the season. So as long as we keep getting all those scores, which the coach has been doing a great job with, those MPR numbers will be a lot of fun to watch as we get closer to the district tournament.
Game balls this week go to Grand Blanc kicker Dylan Hertzberg. He nailed all 4 of his field goal attempts in a 40-34 win over East Lansing. The senior split the uprights from 30, 32, 40, and 45 yards in the season-open victory. Chippewa Valley Cephas Harris, who scored 4 touchdowns in a Week 1 win over Detroit Catholic Central. Harris had touchdown catches of 69 and 68 yards and touchdown runs of 60 and 26 yards on his way to 340 total yards of offense. And to the Ann Arbor Pioneer girls and Traverse City boys teams for winning big city titles at the Pete Moss Cross Country Invitational. Johannesburg Lewiston won the small school title in both boys and girls. Riley Ho of Heartland and Julia Flynn of Traverse City Central won individual titles against loaded big school fields.
Everyone in sports is in search of the elusive perfect game, making every shot, completing every pass, striking everyone out, getting each call right. That's right, game officials enjoy the competition and seek perfection just like the players do. If you still have that competitive streak and want to help kids by giving back, maybe becoming a high school official is for you. To register, log on to MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with the MHSAA's Sam Davis.
One of the big differences between high school football and the college or pro game is how pass interference is called. In high school, there's no such thing as an uncatchable pass. If there is illegal contact by the defender while the ball is in the air, that's pass interference, no matter where the ball ultimately ends up. Also, in high school, a defender can face guard as long as no contact is made with the receiver. That is not pass interference, even if the defender does not look back for the ball. Both of those interpretations differ from the college and pro game. Both levels have uncatchable exception, and neither allows for face guarding. Keep that in mind the next time you think you've spotted pass interference at the high school level.
Thanks, Sam. If you want to be a referee, just go to the MHSAA website now to register. Road trips in high school typically mean bus rides and maybe a stop for burgers after the game, but not if you attend Beaver Island Community School. Located on Beaver Island, halfway between Petoskey and Manistee in Lake Michigan, athletes there fly to all road games and stay overnight. For example, the volleyball team will fly to a game, play one game that night, stay the night, and play a second game the next day before flying home. It's the same scenario, but in reverse for schools that travel to Beaver Island. Beaver Island has just under 20 students in 9th through 12th grade, and they participate in soccer, volleyball, and basketball as part of the Northern Lights League. For more on the Lakers and how they navigate playing on an island, check out secondhalf.mhsaa.com. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross. We'll see you next week.
Guess what? We're hiring at Culver's. That means if you're up for welcoming families with coworkers who feel like family, and you have a thing for fresh frozen custard, and for growing your career in a place you can be proud of, you're our kind of people. So join the Culver's team. Apply at culvers.jobs.
As families and communities across Michigan gear up for an historic back-to-school season, Dean Transportation is looking for compassionate people to join their dedicated team of school bus drivers. They offer competitive wages and paid training, quality benefits, flexible schedules, and most of all, endless opportunities to make a difference. Apply today at deanjobs.com to join this critical effort to help students return to learn this fall. deanjobs.com.
Back with you at halftime. Bob Sack alongside David Cool on the Sobey halftime show here. South Christian and East Grand Rapids locked up in a good one, Dave. Score, it's 13-7 at the break, and with a furious rally by both teams at the end of a very quiet first half. But what an exciting first half, and what else should we expect between two great programs that have been at the top of football here in West Michigan for a long time. Good to have you with us tonight on this Labor Day weekend.
Yes, thanks for having me here.
Both of us excited to head down to the Big House tomorrow, watch a little Big Ten football, but in the meantime, we got another 24 minutes of great high school ball. I want to talk, though, tonight about volleyball. Yep. South Christian volleyball season underway for the 2021 year. Give us a rundown of the Sailors volleyball. Always a good program, a history of wonderful tradition. What's this year's squad like?
Yeah, Coach Jackson's got them playing well again this year. Like you said, Bob, we would expect nothing less. So a really young team this year. So a lot to look forward to, but off to a good start. We're actually ranked 8th in Division II, and obviously it's early, but you know we're excited about that. Ashlyn Inhout is actually a freshman libero for us, who leads us in digs. And then Ellie Fless and Kennedy Arp are kind of our hitters on the outside that are doing a really good job. And obviously the other girls as well, but those are the three that have kind of stood out stats-wise for us. But they're coming off a sweep on Wednesday night. They beat East Grand Rapids and Hamilton, both in a little try, so they're playing well. We haven't seen them at home yet this year, but they come home on Thursday of next week, and the home fans can see them, and I get to see them kind of for the first time, so I'm really excited about that. They're playing well.
I love the legacy of South Christian sports. Ellie Fless, you may not even know this. Well, you probably do. The daughter of Carla Sturck, who led the Sailors to the 1988 girls basketball championship, state championship with undefeated.
I didn't know as much as that.
Yeah, how about that? Carla's got a daughter that I know she's been excited about for basketball and volleyball. Talk about the seniors, though. Who are the senior leaders on this team and that they'll really count on to help them through the season?
Yeah, led by Kate Lurchma, I would say. It's a group that's hungry to perform. Probably felt like they underachieved a little bit last year, I would say, but a hungry group that is doing a great job leading the way this year. We missed out on a lot of stuff with COVID last year. One thing that the volleyball program does a great job is with Sailor Sisters, and they're able to do a lot more of that this year and connect with their JV players and freshman players, and that's just a fun thing that they do, and that's what it's more all about, right? The wins and the losses are great. The community building, the following of the Christ Fellowship that we want to promote, like that's what they do a great job of. That's what we're proud of most of the volleyball program.
All right, we'll catch up with you later in the season on the volleyball and really every sport throughout the year as we take a look at South Christian and the OK goal throughout the course of the season. All right, just about ready for the second half kickoff. When we come back, we'll give you the stats from this exciting first half and get you ready for the third quarter. South Christian EGR should be a great second half. Stay with us.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com. Looking for fresh food, variety, and great deals? Shop your local Family Fare supermarket and sign up for our Yes Rewards program for everyday savings, exclusive digital coupons, rewards, and other special perks. Plus, you can use your Yes account to shop online with the Fastlane, our new online grocery shopping service. Just order online, select pickup, and we'll do all your shopping for you. It's that easy. To learn more about shopping with Yes at Family Fare, visit shopfamilyfare.com.
That's the Sobey halftime show, and thanks for sticking with us with that. And we're ready to go here for this third quarter. Bob Sack alongside former South Christian captain Bryce Sack. Tim Chenoweth has our stats for tonight, and an outstanding video crew making their debut for the Sailor Zone YouTube video. Todd Scrotenborough, Maria Scrotenborough, and Levi Heisen bringing you the pictures on the Sailor Zone, and also glad to have BCTV and AM 1340 The Ticket along as well here on Michigan Sports Radio as the flagship. Bryce, first half stats.
Yeah, what a first half it was, no doubt about it. East Grand Rapids up 13-7. Pretty even game just in terms of the first downs and total yardage. East Grand Rapids 235, South Christian 178. East Grand Rapids is 174 yards in the air, which a lot of those are some big chunk plays. East Grand Rapids has 2 turnovers, an interception, and a fumble, and South Christian has 3 with 2 picks and 1 fumble. No penalties for South Christian. East Grand Rapids has 2 of them, and then some passing from Bernecker. He's 3 for 6, 133 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. And DeHaan for South Christian is 7 for 13 with 77 yards and 2 interceptions.
Night has fallen here at East Kentwood High School. Nick Collins run up, sends a line drive bouncing down to the 5. Jake Vermas will grab it, head outside the numbers, and dropped at the 21. That's where the Sailors will start. And really those statistics, particularly the EGR passing numbers, all coming in literally the last 60 seconds of the first half. The 80-yard touchdown to Fortson made it 7-6. That was all a screen, really a catch-and-run play. And then the long 34-yard pass to Masick, setting up the 1-yard Grady plunge that has put the Pioneers in front 13-7 here as we start the third quarter. South Christian, Bryce really needs to bounce back. Boy, I tell you, the psyche has got to be a key factor in this. You can't let a play like what happened at the end of the first half beat you again, and they'll try to come out strong here in the third quarter. They do it on the legs of Chandler Van Salkum on 1st and 10. He slants over the left tackle for about 3 before Joe Rosen on the stop.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Bob. I mean, South Christian has to put that behind them. You just have to completely forget about it. It's an incredible play, and credit to the East Grand Rapids there. And if they could come out here and have a big first drive for the second half.
Connor Callahan, one of the safeties. Fortson, the other safety. Pioneers go man coverage here on the 2nd and 7 play. The H-back is Fenema. He'll fake to Van Solkema. DeHaan will try to weave his way around the right edge. He does get to the corner, turns it upfield, and then falls forward to near a first down at about the 30s, about a yard shy. And that'll bring up a key third down play, critical, mainly from a psychic standpoint, right? A psyche standpoint. You've got to keep the offense on the field and feel like you're rebounding to start this third quarter. It's the old adage of a basketball game, the first 3 minutes of the second half being the most important. Kind of the same thing goes here, particularly after what happened at the end of the first half.
Cannot go 3 and out, start this second half. I tell you what, that read option quarterback keep has proved dividends for South Christian. Let's see if they go back to it.
3rd and 1. DeHaan looks over the 3-5 defense. Quick pass to Bowalda, and he overthrew him off his fingertips. Fortson was right there, though. Damian Fortson read that perfect. And your thoughts on a pass play on a 3rd and short like that?
Yeah, another high errant throw by DeHaan. Tough. Are they going for it on 4th down? Looks like they might.
Boy, how about that? How about this gamble from Danny Brown? It's 4th and 1 at their own 30, and South Christian looks like they're going to go for it. Let's see if DeHaan tries to lure the Pioneers offside. I don't think Danny want to spend a timeout. I bet they'll snap the ball here, because he's going to have to use a timeout if they don't draw the defense offside.
Yep. I'm sure it was a hard count for the first call, and they got a play ready to go.
Play clock inside of 5. The give is to Van Solkema. They do go for it. He lunges for the first down. It's going to be really close. Let's see where they spot it. I thought his knee hit, and he reached forward with the football. I think he's got enough for the first down, though. No, East Grand Rapids is saying he's an inch or two shy.
Like the first down line's about a 31-yard line. Ball is...
And we're going to have a timeout for a critical measurement. This is where the chain gang gets paid the big bucks.
East Grand Rapids, again, brought it up the A-gap. Those linebackers coming up, and they actually overshot, and Van Solkema was able to get a couple yards, and yeah, this one's going to be close.
He needed a long one, and it all depends on where the official spots the football. And he didn't get it. I mean, he hit it literally by inches. He missed the yard to gain, and East Grand Rapids gets a big defensive stop here on a gamble by South Christian going for it on 4th and 1 at their own 30. You know what? I like the call, though. I think that was a gutty call by Danny Brown. I like it.
They've been able to get those 2-3 yards on those runs. Yeah, you're right. It's a good call. 4th and short. Might as well go for it. Mind you, though, at the end of the first half, with a minute left, South is up 7-0. If East Grand Rapids can score here, talk about this game flipping.
Ball at the left hash of South Christian, 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. Quarterback is David Berniker. He sends Oscar Osborne in motion left to right to an H-back spot. They give it to Caswell up the middle. Nothing doing there as a band of sailors led by Jeff Cashin and Robbie Laidler made the stop. Probably lost a yard on the play. Good push by that South Christian defense.
I think that'll be a trend this second half. If South Christian can keep them from very few yards on 1st down and have 2nd and long, 3rd and long, especially for a team that's made their name running the ball all night, that could be the key for South Christian to stay in this game.
Berniker sends 3 receivers to the right. Fortson along with Masick and Callahan. Now Osborne again, the H-back to the right. Caswell's got it on a handoff over right tackle. Caden Dykema slid over behind the line from his right defensive end spot and trapped Caswell right at the line of scrimmage for maybe a yard gain. What a great play by Dykema.
Fantastic effort. I think that was the same play, sending that left tight end in motion, getting it to the running back. I think it was the same play, and a great read by Dykema there.
Osborne vacates that left tight end spot, which is where Dykema is lined up, and that really leaves him unblocked. And he's so athletic, just like his brother Connor last year, so athletic to slide across the line of scrimmage and make the tackle. 3rd and 10 from the 30. 8:54 to go here in this third quarter. 13-7, East Grand Rapids. On top, Berniker out of the gun, straight back to throw. Flushed out of the pocket, he'll run to the left side. He's at the 25, lunges for the marker at the 20 along the left sideline. I think he got it. He needed 9.5, and he got 9.5. Good read by Berniker.
Great read. South Christian dropped all of their defensive backs back. It's only sent, I think they sent one linebacker. And great read by Berniker on that quarterback run.
David Berniker with his first carry of the night, and it's a good one for 10 yards. So 1st and 10 for the Pioneers at the 20-yard line. They haven't spent much time in the red zone, really. Just the 80-yard screen pass for a score, and then that furious rally at the end of the first half on a last-second quarterback sneak to give them the lead. Pioneers look a little discombobulated on that offensive set, and they will take a timeout. So will we. Stay with us on Michigan Sports Radio and Sailor Zone YouTube.
Hey, we get it. Right now, searching for the right college is a challenge. At Ferris State, we turn challenge into opportunity so that you don't have to put your life on hold. Study in person, online, or both, whatever's right for you. Our virtual admissions tools let you connect, explore, and enroll. Ferris State University, we're ready when you are to help you move Ferris forward. Go to ferris.edu/now to apply free.
First and 10 for the Pioneers with 8:40 to play here in the third quarter. They give it to Higgins, Jeff Higgins, off the behind the left tackle. Jack Higgins, rather, maybe a couple. Peter Veldhuizen with some good run support coming up from that safety spot. Pioneers working behind left guard Jack Bertkey, and the left tackle Robbie Kowalski. Second, we'll call it 8 for EGR at the Sailor 18-yard line. 3 wideouts to the wide side, the right side. Fortson in the slot right. So again, they sent Osborne in motion. They give us to Higgins. He's got it on that zone block, tries to bounce it to the outside and does. Outside the numbers to the 14, finally chased down there by Venema. And Vermas coming up from the corner spot. Still picked up about 4, but this one may come back, and it will. A holding call on East Grand Rapids. That's a big penalty.
Big penalty. And they sent Osborne in motion again, using him as that lead blocker.
It's a zone blocking play. You simply try to put a hat on a body, and that time the running back read it as an opportunity to bounce out to the edge, and he did. Sailors stretched it out pretty well. So we'll replay second down. It's a spot foul, 10-yard penalty. Leaves us with 2nd and 18 at the 28-yard line. Berniker with Jack Higgins to his right. Sends Callahan in motion left to right. They'll fake the pass to him. Now give it to Fortson on a quick screen over the middle. That's the same play that ran for 80 yards and a touchdown. Not that time, though, as Tyler Wetzel read it perfectly, dropped back and stuck Damian Fortson for a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, the difference there being the South Christian backed up, giving that a 2nd and 15. A little bit different than the first half touchdown score, so great prevent defense there by the Sailors.
3rd and 15 now for EGR. Nick Collins is their kicker if they don't convert on this. Collins was 3 for 3 on extra points last week.
EGR in the ace formation.
They give it to Higgins straight up the middle. He's got a hole, breaks a tackle out of the grasp of Cashin, but Dykema's there to drop him at about the 18. He's going to be shy of the first down. He needed 15. He got 7. 4th down and 8, and they will bring in Nick Collins for a field goal attempt that will be from about 35 yards out of the Bergstrom hold.
Felt that EGR was staying conservative there. trust their kicker, go up 2 scores here.
Berniker 1 for 2 on P8, or rather, Collins 1 for 2 on PATs this year, or rather tonight. Snap is a good one. Spot is good. Boot is certainly plenty of leg, and he drilled it. That would have been good from 50, Bryce. He just nailed it. Nick Collins with a 35-yard field goal, and with 6 minutes to go in the third, it's 16-7. East Grand Rapids on top on Michigan Sports Radio. We'll step aside and be back as the Sailors offense takes the field.
Choosing the right orthodontist can mean the difference between an average patient experience and one that is truly exceptional. Hines Orthodontics serves the West Michigan area with locations in Rockford and Kentwood. As a patient of Dr. Hines, you can be confident that you have chosen an orthodontist with the skill, expertise, and commitment to make your smile his top priority. Dr. Hines and his team are dedicated to providing the most efficient and effective treatment using the finest technologies available in orthodontics. Check them out online at HinesOrthodontics.com or on Facebook and Instagram.
Tonight's game brought to you also by Cherry Valley Concrete and a host of other wonderful sponsors.
Yes, one of those sponsors being Healthcare Associates and Community Caregivers, our Grand Rapids home healthcare agency. We serve the greater Grand Rapids area, Traverse City, Petoskey. We've been in business for over 30 years. Healthcare Associates and Community Caregivers offer exceptional home care for families in Grand Rapids and West Michigan. When someone you love needs help, your life is never simple. We provide services for medically fragile children, elderly grandparents, dementia patients, closed head and spinal cord injuries, and many more. Healthcare Associates and Community Caregivers can give you the answers, solutions, and peace of mind. Call to get more information on your specific needs at 616-531-9973.
So East Grand Rapids has rattled off 16 unanswered points to own a 9-point lead. Nick Collins with a high end-over-end kick taken at the goal line by Vermas. He's got a hole, angles to the right side, a flag on the play. He's out over the 45 to the 49 on a good return, but I don't think this one's going to stand, Bryce. I think it's coming back.
Yeah, that one is coming back.
There's a flag on the play, holding.
And indeed, it's a holding penalty against the Sailors, so they'll probably start inside their 20 after that field goal drive.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Benton Imports. Our large selection means that we have a car for everyone. Are you looking to cruise the M6 in luxurious and stylish Mercedes-Benz? Or have you heard about Volkswagen's fuel sipping when you drive to Kalamazoo or Battle Creek? Or maybe you're ready for the road gripping conscious Volvo when you head to Traverse City to go to the Great Wolf Lodge or the Gaylord or Charlevoix areas. Benton Imports, we have all those concerns covered. Visit BentonImports.com. Benton Imports, where relationships grow. That scoring drive capped off a 35-yard field goal by Collins for East Grand Rapids. 4 minutes, 19 seconds to put East Grand Rapids up 16-7.
South Christian will start at their own 15 after the holding penalty. And another whistle. And another timeout. Again, assessed to the Pioneers. That's their second one. And again, we'll step aside.
Say hello to a better home buying experience. Having a trusted Treadstone advisor in your corner makes all the difference. With 11 different loan types, Treadstone tailors your mortgage experience to meet your needs and exceed your expectations. Rooted in West Michigan, Treadstone is passionate about investing in local neighborhoods and businesses. As the most highly rated mortgage company in Michigan, Treadstone has proudly cultivated a reputation of excellence throughout the industry and the community. Call Treadstone today for any of your mortgage needs.
It's also brought to you by Touchpoint 360, a nationwide leader for in-store merchandise and installations, proudly supports the South Christian Sailors and the winning traditions on the football field and the classroom. Are you handy with tools or home renovation projects? Have you ever worked in retail? Do you like to travel? Touchpoint 360 is now hiring talented individuals in the state of Michigan to join our team and help transform our customer stores. To learn more, go to our website at www.touchpoint360.com. Like the Sailors, we proudly wear blue.
First and 10 from the 15. DeHaan back to throw. He scrambles out of the pocket and then is just drilled by Nephias Grady. Gets him for a 2-yard loss as Jake tried to squeeze out of that oncoming rush. The Pioneers set up 4 down linemen and then brought a defensive outside linebacker as well, rushed 5. And South Christian, overall, that offensive line, sort of a makeshift group tonight's done okay, but that time they felt the pressure. 2nd down and 12, back at the 13. Holding penalty very costly on that kickoff return. DeHaan with a single setback. They'll fake to him and then keep it right up the middle. And again, Nick Collins is there to hem him in and drop him for maybe a yard loss. So 3rd and long, and boy, I tell you, that 4th down miss on the last possession looms pretty big now because you really feel the momentum having shifted a bit.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it seems like EGR made the halftime adjustments, right? Taking away that option read, quarterback keep. South Christian's tried to run that the last couple times to no success. So let's see how South Christian adjusts.
Pioneers have won all 5 games in this series. They won the first one back in 1994 and then have won 4 in this decade as these two teams were in the same conference for a little while. 3rd down and 13. DeHaan back to throw. Guns at right sideline, incomplete. Nice defensive coverage there by Brandon Stover. He was looking for Fenema, or rather Jack Skura for the first time tonight, and Stover had him well blanketed.
And speaking of halftime adjustments, Stover there made just that. Knew that all night South Christian's been going on the outside, running those short out routes, comeback routes, and he sat there ready for it. Big 3rd down stop.
Great to have you all with us tonight on the debut of Sailor Zone, South Christian's new YouTube sports channel. Oh, high snap. Brinks made a great catch at the goal line. Corrals it and sends a high, lazy kick to Fortson at midfield. He is slung down on a beautiful defensive coverage there by Chandler Van Solkema, but what really made that coverage was a high, lazy, end-hanging kick that gave the punt team time to get down.
Yep, like you said, great recovery on that catch. That ball was heading out of the end zone. Great recovery by the kicker. Great coverage, great punt.
It's a 39-yard boot after that high snap, so give Nate Brinks credit for that.
Bob, you consider South Christian's last stop there after the 4th down miss, holding EGR to a field goal here. This drive right now, this series is crucial for South Christian to stay in this game. EGR can go down and score.
No question. 1st and 10, here's a pitch to Grady around the left end, cuts it upfield and then lowers his shoulder and bowls his way out to the 48-yard line before Skur was there to finally drop him at the 48, along with Dykema, gain of 5. Boy, they like to use Grady when he gets ahead of steam, don't they? Whether it's the wildcat or whether it's deep I formation or that deep pitch. That's where he's most effective. He'll come out of the game now, and Jeremy James lines up at fullback. Andrew Caswell dots the I. The ends are in tight. Old school football on 2nd and 6. It's a pitch to Caswell around the right end, hemmed in nicely by Fenema. Turns it upfield. Still got about 4 or 5 near the 1st down. It was Skur again. Ashton Fenema turned him in nicely, but still Caswell had enough steam to pick up 4 yards. Sets up 3rd down and 1 with 3 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter.
I think you nailed that. These big backs getting that full head of steam out of the eye. You can get, man, they're getting 3-4 yards a pop. And it's working here. Now they got Grady back in the game.
He'll line up as the deep back. He's literally 7 yards from the football. James in at fullback, his lead blocker. Grady's got it, 2nd man through. 1st down, broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and then just drags South Christian's defender with him down to the 37. That's an 11-yard run that appeared to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, but Grady's just got too much horsepower.
That's Grady's 10th carry for 52 yards tonight, so he is bruising this South Christian defense.
Last week against Zeeland West, he carried 12 times for 58 yards, so they're using him very similarly in frequency here tonight. He sits down, and Caswell dots the I with the ball resting at the 37, 1st and 10. Pitch to Caswell. He's got room on the left side. Turns it back in again inside the 35 down to the 31. And right now, Bryce, East Grand Rapids is starting to assert themselves up front.
Another 5 yards. All first half, East Grand Rapids was punishing them with the inside run game, a few outside runs, but keeping it up the middle. And now is it starting to wear on South Christian?
Seeing a few hands-on hips out there. That defense has been on the field a lot here in the third quarter. We're inside of a minute and a half. Joe Rose checks out of the game, and Ian Masick back in. Second and 6 for the Pioneers. Direct snap. Now they pitch it out to Higgins. Breaks the tackle to 30. Spins his way inside the 25. Klump finally wrestled him down along with Cashin and Vermas. South Christian will sub new interior defensive lineman into the game now. First and 10 at the 23 with 46 seconds to go in the third quarter. You kind of feel the life just being sucked out of the South Christian crowd, don't you? It's a different tone in the eastern, western stands here for this second half. Now they load, East Grand Rapids overloads the right side, and that's exactly where Jack Higgins will run with a huge hole, busts his way outside the numbers down to the 10, still dragging tacklers at the 10. He was able to gain 13 yards.
Difference there being, Bob, is that Higgins was not touched that first 5 yards. So this offensive line for East Grand Rapids is getting that push.
And that's the way the third quarter ends. 16-7, East Grand Rapids on top. Fourth quarter's coming up. Stay with us on MichiganSportsRadio.com.
Heart of Gold. You'll find it at Metro Health, University of Michigan Health, where leading heart and vascular specialists are at the forefront of cardiovascular care. You know what else is golden? Our newly expanded office, located at 1310 East Beltline, just off of Lake Drive. You can't beat the location. Look for the Block M, or better yet, schedule an appointment. Online at metrohealth.net/heart-vascular.
Of showering? Well, have we got a solution for you?
We interrupt this commercial with good news from your good neighbor. State Farm has new lower car insurance rates, which means you can save more cash and get the service and convenience of a local State Farm agent. That's right, State Farm now has new lower auto rates with their same good neighbor service. It's the real deal for car insurance, folks. And now this.
Bill Cole Agency in East Grand Rapids, 458-4994.
Back with more East Grand Rapids Pioneer football on the Ticket 106.1 FM, 1340 AM, 1490 AM Muskegon, and MichiganSportsRadio.com.
As we start the fourth quarter and return to action, Andrew Caswell takes the inside handoff from David Berniker and slices his way through that Sailor defense into the end zone for a touchdown, an 11-yard touchdown push by Caswell, and a very impressive drive puts EGR up now 22-7 as they will look to make it a 16-point lead with this extra point. On to attempt it is Nick Collins. Snap is good, and the kick is true, 23-7. EGR on top.
East Grand Rapids 23, South Christian 7.
From the Booth Lasky Grebenstuck Insurance Studio, we're the Ticket. AM 1340 WJRW, W291DJ 1061 FM Grand Rapids, AM 1490 WBBL Whitehall.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Bet & Baker, where Michigan shops. We know you've heard about the chip shortages and driven past all the dealerships with empty lots. Well, that simply isn't the case at Bet & Baker Chrysler Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Lowell. We currently have 93 new vehicles on the ground at our brand new facility that is only 15 minutes east of the stadium on M21. Much better than fighting the traffic on 28th Street or Plainfield anyways. We have 35 new Ram trucks in stock, including top-of-the-line limited night editions. We have 50 new Jeep SUVs, including the luxurious 3-row Grand Cherokee, L Summit Reserve. Make the short drive out to Lowell and find the new Ram truck or Jeep SUV that you've been looking for. Bet Baker in Lowell really is where Michigan shops.
Well, South Christian needs to get something going. They trail 23-7 in a game that we'll tell you about how it took a turn at the end of the first half, but that latest touchdown drive was powerful by EGR.
Yeah, that 11-yard Caswell touchdown capped off a 7-play, 57-yard that was entirely happening on the run game. Within the run game, the ball never was passed once on that drive. EGR just showing that dominance there to put the score up to 23-7.
Nick Collins' run-up sends a booming kickoff into the end zone. He's got a strong leg. Seen it on the field goals, seen it on the kicks. And South Christian will start 1st and 10 from their 20. So if you just joined us, this was a scoreless game until the final 2 minutes of the first half when the Sailors mounted a nice touchdown drive capped off by Chandler Van Silkerman's 3-yard run. That made it 7-0 with just a minute to go in the second quarter. EGR on the ensuing play hit a 80-yard screen pass to Damian Fortson. That made it 7-6 after the missed extra point. On the ensuing kickoff to South Christian on the scrimmage, first play from scrimmage, Brendan Burns picked off a Jake DeHaan pass, and then 2 plays later, thanks to a Hail Mary that got him down to the 1-foot line, Matthias Grady went over for a score, and just like that, EGR led 13-7 at halftime, and since then, Pioneers have really grabbed the momentum. 1st and 10 for the Sailors. They go to the air. A strike from Jake DeHaan to Ashton Fenema. Picked up about 7 on that little curl route right along the hash mark, and Sailors look to go with a up-tempo here to get back in this game.
Yeah, I love that first play call for DeHaan, just giving him the opportunity to throw a stick route, get 8 yards, 7-8 yards, get that confidence back, get this offense rolling again.
On 1st and 10, the snap is low, and DeHaan has to fall on the ball. That's costly, a 6-yard loss. And that's a rhythm killer right there. First bad snap we've seen all year long from South Christian. They've done a nice job on that shotgun. It's invariably it'll happen. But instead of 2nd and 3, now it's 3rd and 7 from the 22. Big play here for the Sailors to stay on the field. 2 wideouts to the left, ball right in the middle of the field. Just 2 down linemen, a couple of outside linebackers. Here comes the blitz. DeHaan reads it, throws it over the middle. He's got a man complete. Skur had it and dropped it at the 37. Great job by Jake hanging in the pocket on the blitz. He found Skur, had him open at the 37, but Jack just could not hang on. And it's 4th and 8.
Excellent leadership there by DeHaan, going right back to Skur, saying, hey, man, you got this. Let's get the next one. Counting on you, because South has to go for this. You have to, right?
Well, I think it's a little early. But they look like they might do that. Danny Brown signaling in the play. And, yeah, they're going for it with 10:40 to go. It's 4th and 8 from their own 22. Perhaps the pivotal point of the game at this point. Trying to draw the Pioneers offside. Play clock inside of 10. Here, Pioneers show blitz with 5 right at the line. Now they drop back, rush 4, straight back to throws down. He's going to run. He's got the 25. He's got a first down to 30 outside the numbers along the sideline. Still on his feet along the boundary outside the numbers to the 50-yard line. What a play by Jake DeHaan to keep the Sailor offense on the field. A scamper of 28 yards. I think, Bryce, that was a pass play, but DeHaan alertly saw the gaping hole on the left side and seized it.
Yeah, gutsy play. It looked like all go routes from the receivers. Read it, saw the opening, and scampered for the first down. Gutsy play there.
Gutsy call.
Gutsy call, yeah.
4th and 8 from the 22. So with 10.5 to go, the South Christian still has life. Trailing by 2 scores. Out of the shotgun, 1st and 10. Inside handoff to Van Solkema. Breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage and then busts his way into the 2nd and 3rd level. Out over midfield along the numbers to the 48. A 14-yard run. That was all Chandler Van Solkema because there was nothing there. And he was able to still burst through that traffic and pick up 14 yards. South Christian offense again up tempo. In Pioneer territory at the 49. 2 receivers out to the right. For DeHaan. Straight back to throw out of the gun. Looking down the left sideline. Deep, well covered. And overthrown, intended for Fenema. Stride for stride. With him was Brandon Stover.
Excellent coverage there by Stover. With him step for step. They've been looking at that go route on that left side a couple times tonight. And Stover's been all over it.
Score lined up wide to the right. He's been quiet tonight. Number 10, Jack came into the game having caught 2 passes at Grand Rapids Christian last week. Had a good year last year with 2 touchdown receptions as a tight end. Now he's split out wide. 9:56 to go. South Christian shifts around with their skill positions. Here comes the blitz. DeHaan flushed out, rolled to his left, throwing deep down over the middle. He's got a man, but it's underthrown and intercepted at the 15-yard line on a beautiful recovery by Ryan Reska. Fenema was open. He had his man beat, but again, DeHaan's rolling left, has to throw back to the other side of the field.
I mean, that's a near impossible throw, going to the left and trying to heave it 30 yards. It's a tough throw, not what the coach probably is looking for, especially at this point in the game, but a great defense there by the EGR secondary.
That is the 3rd pick tonight on Jake DeHaan. First from Reska. Burns had one earlier. Joe Rose had the first one in the opening quarter.
You're right, though. He had him. He had him open, just underthrew it.
And left it up in the air a long time.
Yep.
It was a lofted floater that Reska had plenty of time to recover. 1st and 10 out of the eye. They pitch it to Caswell around the left edge. Had an opening, but then Skur came up and chopped him down at the 16. Maybe a 2-yard gain. Critical stop here. South Christian needs a 3 and out. They need to score twice.
If you're South Christian right now, do you even think pass? Or you just get up in the box, stop the run? Can't imagine EGR is going to go to the air.
No, I would agree. They have really established a ground game here in the second half.
Yeah.
Last week against Zeeland West, they rushed for 285 yards. A lot of it, though, came on a 55-yard run by their backup quarterback in the second half.
South Christian showing 5 D linemen, bringing up 2 linebackers, and it's like a nickel back.
Christian Phillips, the lone wide receiver, now into the game, split wide to the right. Inside handoff to Jeremy James. He is crushed by Jeff Cashin at the 20-yard line.
22.
Cashin again at that right linebacker spot and reacted quickly to slide over and dump the ball carrier at the 20. Big 3rd down and 6 from the 20-yard line here. South Christian crowd hoping their defense rises to the occasion. Well, I tell you what, East Grand Rapids hasn't thrown at Jace DeMann all night long. He of the 3 interceptions last week. He has been quiet tonight. He's got that kind of reputation now as a good cover guy. Ends in tight, balanced line.
Speaking of
play action pass, DeMann blitzes, but that leaves a receiver wide open in the flat. He being Rose, and the ball is incomplete, but a roughing the passer is going to be nailed on Jace DeMann. He hit David Berniker after the throw, and I think, Bryce, I think it was probably the right call.
Yeah, a little bit late contact. DeMann coming from the corner. Great great call on the corner blitz there, especially at that time. Goes play action, his backside is exposed, and yeah, DeMann got a little greedy.
Boy, that's a backbreaker because they had their 3 and out. And now it's a 1st and 10 at the 35. Is that the first Sailor penalty of the day, of the night? Third of the night. South Christian playing a pretty clean game for the most part.
That's a backbreaker, though, right there. That South Christian defense.
23-7. 23 unanswered points by East Grand Rapids has put them in control here as we head down the home stretch. 8 minutes to go. Boy, that rotation of running backs, Higgins and Caswell. Now it's Grady dotting the I back at the 28. He'll get the handoff and power his way over right tackle for a first down out over the 40 to the 45. Slung down there by Dykema, who's played so well, defensive end.
Dykema on the tackle.
Give Casey Longo credit, just the way he's cycled his running backs through. They come in fresh, they run hard, they're hitting the holes. Extremely effective here in the second half.
4 different running backs have touched the ball this game. 3 of them have over 5 carries. 2 of them obviously being Grady and Caswell have over 10 carries. So the production on the ground is definitely there for East Grand Rapids.
1st and 10 for the Pioneers now at the 47. Ball right in the middle of the field. James the up back is the fullback. Grady the second man threw out of the eye. He's got it. Again, just lunges his way forward, leaves 2 injured Sailors in his wake, and falls his way to the 45 of South Christian. Robbie Laidler shaken up on that play for South, as is another player down behind the line, and he'll get some attention, and we'll take a break. 23-7, Pioneers on top, 7:07 to go here on Michigan Sports Radio. BCTV.
For almost 60 years, Earhart Construction has successfully built some of the most well-known structures and facilities across the West Michigan landscape. These projects set the foundation for where we are today. Providing a distinctive construction experience for our clients has been Earhart's priority since the beginning, and it continues to be their primary focus today. We can't wait to make your next commercial or residential project a reality. Contact us today by visiting earhartcc.com. Again, that's earhartcc.com.
Stay with us after the game for the Van Solkema Family Farms post-game show, where Bryce will name his Tough Turf Molebusters player of the game tonight. A lot of guys to choose from, and right now the Pioneers seem to have the edge in that category of candidates because they have really taken command here in this second half. South Christian just one possession inside of Pioneer territory. Meanwhile, EGR has been able to move down the field via a strong ground game. From the 45, 2nd down and 3. Second man through. Caswell's got a first down, breaks the tackle. Check that, that's Jeremy James, and he's going to race toward the end zone. 10-5 touchdown, East Grand Rapids. Jeremy James with a 45-yard touchdown run, and I think that was just a case of fatigue because South had the play plugged up, could not bring down the ball carrier.
Absolutely. South brought the house. The EGR back too strong, way too strong and fast, carrying that for a 45-yard touchdown.
Nick Collins on to attempt the extra point. Out of the Preston Bergstrom hole, the kick is up, and it is good. 29-7 with 6:22 to play here in the first half.
30, South Christian
Tonight's game is brought to you by Tough Turf Mole Busters. Tough Turf Mole Busters are your local lawn and pest experts. Their green and orange vehicles with the mole on the roof stand out. So does their service. While they are mostly recognized for mole control, they also take care of chipmunks, voles, mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, wasps, and spiders. Their lawn fertilizing and aeration program takes the worries out of having a great-looking lawn. Tough Turf Mole Busters probably already has a customer in your neighborhood. Find them on the web at toughturfmolebusters.com. Tonight's game is also brought to you by the Sobey Company. For over 85 years, Sobey Company has been a premier commercial construction contractor, specializing in everything from walls and ceilings to floors and insulation. We have been a part of almost every large commercial construction project in West Michigan, including the newly constructed South Christian High School, Byron Center's Christian's renovations, and 2 expansion projects at Dutton Christian. Our skilled and talented craftsmen can make any interior dream you have a construction project a reality. Go Sailors!
30-7, East Grand Rapids rolling right now. 6:22 to play in this one after that touchdown drive.
Absolutely, that touchdown drive by James capped off 45-yard TD run, 7 plays, 85 yards, taking up 3 minutes, 24 seconds of that clock, putting EGR up 30-7.
Nick Collins run up again, drives that kickoff through the end zone. And that has been a key part of this game, too. His kickoffs pushing South Christian's start location at the 20-yard line.
Expect East Grand Rapids to play in that prevent, and let's see what DeHaan can get working. I think he's had the post open most of the game. EGR's dropped back in that cover 3, leaving that post route open, and get a couple yards here, get on the board.
Critical point just from the standpoint of the psyche a little bit for South to get something going. It's been a tough second half, and I think they want to finish strong, even though right now it's looking like a tough, tall order to win the game. 1st and 10, out route complete at the right sideline. First down to Jack Skur. Pushed out of bounds at the 31. It's a first down. It was Reska on the coverage.
That's Skur's first reception today. After a few tough drops, good to see him make a catch.
Sailors go empty backfield, 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Ball at the right hash on 1st and 10. 2 down linemen. They blitz, they rush 5. DeHaan is trapped and dumped for a loss back at the 27. Nick Collins got him as Jake saw that blitz coming and tried to squirm away for a scramble, but couldn't do it.
Textbooks play there by Nick Collins. That play was going left, rolling out. DeHaan was rolling out. Nick Collins right there, holding contain, shutting that play down immediately.
Pioneers drop back in that zone defense on 2nd and 13. Straight back to throw. DeHaan's got a man. It's Bawalda, but for a short gain, he got 4. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Good coverage by Brandon Stover again.
By number 13, Stover. 3rd down.
Clock ticks down to 5.5. Obviously, 4 down territory at this point. You know, this is a game where you look back, and I always wonder about these situations, and I'll hold that thought here after this 3rd down. Fenema in as an H-back for DeHaan. Claps his hands, runs the quick in route complete to Fenema. He's got a first down over the 45 to the 47 on a quick little in route. 1st and 10 at the 46. Sailors hurry up to the line. Van Solkema replaces Vermas in the backfield as South Christian goes back to a running back. Bawalda slot right, Fenema wide left, Skur wide right. Handoff to Van Solkema, a lot of room around the right side. Turns it in nicely as does Burns, but Van Solkema is able to fight his way over the 45 to the 43. Another first down, 12-yard run before Matthias Grady spilled him there at the 43.
First down, South Christian.
Van Solkema had a nice night. That's 12 carries, 93 yards. taking a little bit of pressure off DeHaan.
Really has, and think about it. He didn't even play the first quarter. South went empty backfield the entire first quarter, so that 93 yards is really coming 2+ quarters. Clock ticking inside of 4 minutes as the Sailors try to get on the board here one more time in the fourth quarter. 2 down linemen, 2 defensive ends. They rush 5. Van Solkema takes the handoff from DeHaan, spins out of a tackler at the 40, busts his way along the sideline down to the 26. Strong run by the senior. 6 foot, 190 pounds. Danny Brown said he works really hard, and that 18-yard gain showed it there. He works really hard not only on the field but also in the weight room, and changed his body a little bit over the summer, and much more of a power back than he was last year.
You see DeHaan there get on the outside, leading the blockers. Kid's had a tough night, but you love to see that.
A lot of moxie out of this junior quarterback. 1st and 10, he's straight back to throw. Here comes Collins. He busts out of that tackle, scrambles to the right sideline. He's got yardage and is inside the 15, down to the 13, stepped out, they'll say, at the 18. But again, a gain of 9 on that. A tough run by the junior signal caller. Yeah, he's just got a lot of game, Bryce. I watched him play basketball last year as a sophomore, and right from the first game of the year, just had the ability to embrace the moment in a clutch situation so well, and it really translates to the football field. 2nd and 3 from the 19 for Jake DeHaan. Sailors in the red zone. Penalty flag as Van Solkema takes the handoff. He's got a lot of room right up the middle, down inside the 5 to the 3 before Connor Callahan dropped him inside the 3. The flag is either going to be offside. Nope, illegal procedure on South Christian, so that negates a nice gain by Chandler Van Solkema that would have set up 1st and goal.
2nd down.
South, like you've said, they've moved the ball all night long. Just not much to show for it tonight. 7 points.
Yeah,
but some key penalties, penalties and also turnovers.
Yep. That's kind of the story of the game. They've been getting there. It feels like they should have some more points on the board, and yeah, those turnovers have just killed them.
A whistle here with 3:09 to go, and East Grand Rapids will take their final timeout as Casey Longo wants to rally his defense. We'll take a break. 30-7, EGR on top.
Earning a college degree means you don't have to go it alone.
We have 3 students at Cornerstone, and they all enjoy their interactions with the campus community, but most specifically with their professors.
At Cornerstone University, we are dedicated to your success.
They have found growth, they have found connection, and they have found community.
Start today by applying at cornerstone.edu. That's cornerstone.edu.
At Culver's, we cook our butter burgers pretty much the same as you would at home. Only our 3-cut blend of fresh beef will do. Then you'll need to master our signature press and sear technique. You may want to practice a few thousand times. Add real Wisconsin cheese, top with a lightly buttered toasted bun, and serve yourself with a big warm smile.
Better yet, come to Culver's and leave the whole cook-to-order butter burger thing to us. Welcome to Delicious.
Back with you for the final 3 minutes of this football game. South Christian trying to punch one more in here. 2nd down from the 24-yard line. Play action pass. DeHaan back to throw. Guns it over the middle. Complete at the 5 on a beautiful grab by Tanner Bawalda. Great catch and a needle thread by Jake DeHaan on that throw. Boy, he just pinpointed that in right inside the 5-yard line, and just inside the numbers on a little in route by Tanner Bawalda. 1st and goal for South. They're now knocking on the door at the 4. Van Solkema, the running back, he'll take the handoff over right tackle and cuts and plows his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Good drive by the Sailors. Chandler Van Solkema with a 4-yard run. And that makes it 30-13 with 2:36 to play.
Based off how this game has gone, it's far from over. But regardless, it has to feel good for South Christian. Get in the end zone there, get a score. Keep your hopes alive here. A much-needed TD.
They will go for, costly timeout. A timeout on a dead ball. That could come back to to haunt the Sailors. They're down by 17, so they're going to have to get a 2-point conversion at some point. I think they'll see if they choose to try it here or perhaps on another touchdown.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Van Dyken Mechanical. Van Dyken Mechanical is a leader in industrial and commercial mechanical contracting. From design-build projects to ongoing maintenance services, their team brings an unbeatable combination of expertise and integrity to the job. They have a sterling reputation in the West Michigan area with specific experience in pharmaceutical, manufacturing, healthcare, and educational facilities.
Sailors will indeed go for 2. Dahan lines up Van Solkema to his right. One receiver to each side. Jake will roll to the right. And he's going to keep it, and he'll throw it towards the corner of the end zone on a nice catch by Jack Skur. Just kept the feet in bounds near the pylon, and that's a 2-point pass to make it a 15-point game. And maybe the best part about that drive is the defense got to rest a little bit. Jeff Cashin and Caden Dykema and
Jake Cashin.
I keep calling him Jeff. My apologies.
Sorry, Miss Cashin, biology teacher. I actually coached Jake back in the day, back when he was.
That's right, Dave Cashin, former offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Son Jake doing a great job at inside linebacker tonight. So they'll need Jake Cashin and his buddies Caden Dykema and a host of others to make a key stop here, but I would anticipate, as you were about to say, an onside kick with 2.5 to play.
Not the first onside kick of the game.
No, they opened the game with an onside kick. EGR with their hands team in there.
No one back deep.
10 players within 15 yards, and the deepest player is the return man's about at the 20-yard line. Nate Brinks lines up the onside kick, and he will send it into EGR territory, alertly recovered right there by Jack Higgins at the 48-yard line. Ball just bounced a little too high and right into the hands of Higgins. So 2 timeouts left for the Sailors. The scoreboard says 3, but I thought they just used 1.
Should be 2, yep.
And they'll need a 3 and out immediately.
Has East Grand Rapids passed this second half? I believe that every play has been on the ground.
I want to thank our video staff making their debut tonight for the Sailor Zone YouTube. You can watch South Christian sports on Sailor Zone throughout the year. Todd Scrotenborough, our video producer, Maria Scrotenborough, and Levi Heising assisting him. Thank you for all of their good work tonight. Also the video folks at BCTV. Hope you've enjoyed the game on their channel as well. Andrew Caswell over right tackle, tripped up in the backfield by DeCam, but he was able to break that tackle and pump his way to about the 49, gain of 3, so it'll bring her up 2nd and 7 as the Sailors take a timeout. Next week, we'll be on the air right back here at East Kentwood High School. South Christian will host TK. They did not play this week. They were a victim of a COVID protocol, and their game at Byron Center was canceled. So they'll come into the game with just 1 contest under their belt. East Grand Rapids will host Grand Rapids Christian at Memorial Field. Eagles 0-2 after losing last night to Unity Christian. So Casey Longo's got to feel good about his team. They played well in the second half against Zeeland West. First half was just a flat-out dogfight tonight. And then East Grand Rapids has really asserted themselves here in this 3rd and 4th quarter. 2nd and 7 for David Berniker. Ends in tight, balance line. Caswell, the tailback in that I formation, battles his way ahead to the 45-yard line, sets up 3rd down and 4. South Christian takes another timeout. And that should be their last, but the scoreboard's still showing them with 1, unless they did not get assessed. But I thought for sure I saw them assess the timeout before that 2-point conversion try. Don't forget also tomorrow on Michigan Sports Radio, Grand Rapids Catholic Central, 4 o'clock, host Merrillville Andrean from the Gary, Indiana area. Last week, Catholic Central opened the season at the Big House with a 43-21 win over Lapeer. And just goes to show how they're seeking a competitive game anywhere they can find one. They'll host South Christian in 2 weeks. We'll have that game for you on Michigan Sports Radio. That is on September 17th. Scoreboard still shows 1 timeout for the Sailors, but this will essentially be the ball game right here if EGR can convert a 3rd and 4 from the South Christian 46. South Christian brings the house. The pitch goes to Caswell. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward to about the 43. I think he's going to be about a half a yard shy, Bryce. So if you're Casey Longo, well, South uses their final timeout. If you're Casey Longo, do you go for it here, or do you just punt it away and pin South Christian deep? 4th and 1 at the 43.
I think you have to go for it, right? You've been getting 5 yards a run, seal the game here. Just been so impressed with East Grand Rapids' bounce back tonight. Coming out after the tough loss and just being really dominant on the ground game tonight. And we've realized East Grand Rapids has thrown the ball twice in the second half. Twice.
A 1st down here would give the Pioneers opportunity to go into the victory formation and give them our Heinz Orthodontics smile of the night. And that's what they're looking for on this 4th down and 1 at the 43. Pioneers line up again in that power I. Jeremy James, the up back. Caswell dots the I, standing at his 50. The ball scrimmaged at the 43.
South's got to watch the hard count.
South Christian brings everybody in a great defensive play. Knifing through to make that stop was Clayton DeCam from a strong safety spot. And Bryce, they dropped Caswell behind the line, no gain, and South Christian will take over with 2:11 to go.
How about that? Expect nothing less.
That is our Bob's Collision hit of the game. If you have a body repair need for your automobile, make sure you take it to Bob's Collision. Right, that particular play.
That was a collision.
Clayton DeCam made a great collision. So 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line for South. There's still a gasp of breath left, hoping for a quick touchdown strike and then perhaps an onside kick. They got some work to do, though. 1st and 10 from the 43. Pioneers bring the house. Rush 6 on the blitz. DeHaan's able to avoid the rush and then flips it along the left sideline to Skewer, complete for an 8-yard gain into Pioneer territory at the 48. He got out of bounds, too, so a real nice play by the Sailor offense there.
Yeah. DeHaan's poised in the pocket. Just shows again.
From the 48, 2nd and 1. Really, the 1 yard to gain is immaterial at this point. They need chunks. Pioneers blitz, quick out pattern complete to Jake Vermas. Out of bounds again at the 42. That's a 1st down. If you're East Grand Rapids, are you giving up that sort of pass with a prevent defense?
Absolutely, absolutely. Nothing behind you. That's the name of the game for East Grand Rapids right now. No easy touchdowns.
They're happy with letting South march down the field and consume most of what's left of the 2 minutes on the clock.
Yep.
From the 42, 1st and 10. H-back is Fenema, empty backfield. DeHaan straight back to throw. Here comes the blitz. He's flushed out again. Now goes deep down over the middle of the field. He's got Fenema complete inside the 5, down to the 1. How about that? What a throw by Jake DeHaan. He was just belted as he threw it. Flag on the play. That's going to be a late hit. Personal foul, although it's really not going to produce much because the ball was caught by Fenema and downed at the 2. But all of a sudden, this thing's not over yet.
Absolutely not, Bob. Absolutely not. What did I just say? East Grand Rapids cannot allow to happen? Just that. Cannot let anything get behind you. And DeHaan throws a strike.
Beautiful post route by Ashton Fenema. Got behind the corner and in front of the safety, and Jake floated it in there perfectly as he sidestepped the rush. No timeouts for South Christian. They'll need to score quick. Van Solkema back in the game in the backfield. On 1st and goal from the 1. Pioneers looking for that inside handoff. South Christian does, in fact, give it to Chandler Van Solkema. He waltzes into the end zone for the score. And with 1:37 to go, this crazy game is coming down to an onside kick because it is not over yet. 30-21. I would assume they'll kick here, right? To make it, they're going to have to hit a 2-point conversion, but let's make it interesting. Kick the extra point and then see what happens with the onside kick.
Well, DeHaan's still out there, so it looks like they may be going for 2. Mind you, that was Van Solkema's 3rd touchdown tonight. Has run for 117 yards. And like you said, that's all in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter.
Sailors will go for 2 here to make it a 30-23 game. They run Van Solkema. Now DeHaan straight back to throw. He's rolling to his right. Here comes the rush. Throws over the middle. It's intercepted by Brendan Burns at the goal line. Intended for Tanner Bawalda. Great play by Burns. He stepped right in front of the receiver. And the 2-point conversion fails. And for all intents and purposes, that ends this football game.
Yeah, it's a questionable call. I wonder why they decided to go for 2 there instead of getting the point to keep it a 1-possession game.
30, South Christian 21.
We'll take a quick break, come back for what will likely be an onside kick here on Michigan Sports Radio.
Tired of showering? Well, have we got a solution for you?
We interrupt this commercial with good news from your good neighbor. State Farm has new lower car insurance rates, which means you can save more cash and get the service and convenience of a local State Farm agent. That's right, State Farm now has new lower auto rates with their same good neighbor service. It's the real deal for car insurance, folks. And now this.
Bill Cole Agency in East Grand Rapids, 458-4994.
All that stands in the way of an East Grand Rapids victory here is the recovery of an onside kick and the victory formation. Nate Brinks has it teed up, bounces it down again. Same thing as it happened on the last onside kick, right to Jack Higgins, and he solidly grabs it right at midfield, covers it up, and that's where David Berniker can set up his offense in the victory formation with 1:37 to play. Bryce, it's one of those games I often wonder. There's been so many pivotal plays in the game, right? Particularly at the end of the first half. It's one of those games you wonder if this would have happened or if that would have happened, or did East Grand Rapids simply wear down the Sailors and that would have happened either way in the second half?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, it makes you wonder, too, that first Sailor drive of the second half, going for it on 4th down, losing the ball. East Grand Rapids able to go and get some points. And then the run game was going. It's just, yeah, it feels like East Grand Rapids just dominated the line of scrimmage all night. Wore them down.
That Pioneer offensive line, led by Jack Bertka at left guard and Hayden Bentley, the center. Doing a great job opening a lot of holes here. As this clock ticks down, and we're 2 more snaps as the Pioneers are in victory formation. Again, stay with us after the game. We'll give you the final stats as well as a scoring summary and our Tough Turf Moldbusters player of the game. That's all ahead on the Van Solkema Family Farms post-game show coming up here on Michigan Sports Radio. in the Sailor Zone.
Yeah, one of those stats just to highlight as East Grand Rapids takes probably one more kneel here. 222 second half rushing yards. Combined between 3-4 backs, it's just win a football game that way.
Yeah, that is for sure. That is what you do to win. That'll do it. East takes their final snap. They're going to win it 30-21, and an exciting game here on this holiday weekend Friday night. We'll take a break. The Van Solkema Family Farms post-game show is next. Stay with us. Much more to come on Michigan Sports Radio and the Sailor Zone Sports Network.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com. Looking for fresh food, variety, and great deals? Shop your local Family Fare supermarket and sign up for our Yes Rewards program for everyday savings, exclusive digital coupons, rewards, and other special perks. Plus, you can use your Yes account to shop online with the Fastlane, our new online grocery shopping service. Just order online, select pickup, and we'll do all your shopping for you. It's that easy. To learn more about shopping with Yes at Family Fare, visit shopfamilyfare.com.
As families and communities across Michigan gear up for an historic back-to-school season, Dean Transportation is looking for compassionate people to join their dedicated team of school bus drivers. They offer competitive wages and paid training, quality benefits, flexible schedules, and most of all, endless opportunities to make a difference. Apply today at deanjobs.com to join this critical effort to help students return to learn this fall. deanjobs.com.
What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle? A combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more. Because a State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve?
Call State Farm agent Bill Cole in East Grand Rapids, 458-4994. Proud supporter.
Bob Sack back with you here at East Cailwood High School, where East Grand Rapids has prevailed over South Christian 30-21 in an interesting and entertaining, hard-fought interconference battle tonight between two longtime perennial powers in Grand Rapids, and it was a good one tonight. Let's tell you how it happened. No scoring in the first quarter. Matter of fact, there was no scoring until the last minute of the second quarter. South Christian was able to tally a touchdown on a 62-yard drive set up by Chandler Van Solkema's 36-yard TD run. Van Solkema's 3-yard touchdown run kept that drive to give the Sailors what they thought would be a 7-0 lead going into the locker room at halftime. On the ensuing play from scrimmage, East Grand Rapids struck with a screen pass, a one-play, 80-yard drive, an 80-yard screen pass from David Berniker to Damian Fortson, covered 80 yards in just 14 seconds, and that made it 7-6 as the extra point was missed. South Christian still felt like they would head into the locker room at halftime with the lead. Sailors took the next kickoff, and on the second play from scrimmage, Brendan Burns picked off a Jake DeHaan pass. returning it to the 33-yard line. And on the next play, a long pass down to the goal line was tipped. Ian Masick caught it on his back at the 1-yard line, and that happened with 1 second to go in the second quarter, and that set up a Matthias Grady 1-yard plunge to give the Pioneers a 13-7 lead going into the locker room at halftime. In the second half, South Christian received the opening kickoff, went for it on a 4th and 1 from their own 30. East Grand Rapids came up with a big stop. 6 plays later, they were able to convert on a Nick Collins 35-yard field goal that made it 16-7 with 6 minutes gone in the third quarter. With 11:55 to go in the fourth quarter, the first play of the fourth quarter, the Pioneers kept a 7-play, 57-yard drive with Andrew Caswell's 11-yard TD run. The extra point made it 23-7 in favor of the Pioneers. East would tack on another score to make it 30-7 with 6.5 to go. A big play off the legs of Jeremy James, a 45-yard TD run, capping a 7-play, 85-yard drive that gave the Pioneers a 30-7 lead. South Christian wouldn't quit, though. They scored 2 more times in the final 3 minutes of the football game. Chandler Van Solkema with a huge second half powered his way in from 4 yards to make it a 30-15 game. With just 2:36 to go, and then with 1:36 to go after the Sailors forced a 3-and-out, Van Solkema scored his 3rd touchdown of the night, a 2-yard run, capping a 4-play, 57-yard drive that was set up by a long pass to Ashton Fenema. That made it 30-21, but South Christian could not convert the 2-point conversion, nor could they recover an onside kick, and they trailed the football game 30-21, and that is the way it ended tonight, 30-21. EGR with the victory. Statistics, Bryce, certainly a fascinating look at the numbers tonight.
Yeah, I think if you look at the numbers, I don't think the numbers tell all the story. Just given how dominant East Grand Rapids was on the ground, East Grand Rapids amassed 222 rushing yards, and that's out of the almost 400 total yards. And you think they were all over it in the air, but really it was just a couple big plays for East Grand Rapids in the passing game, especially on that 4th down early in the first half, first down on the 1-inch yard line with Grady threw that pass in the end zone, completing that for a big game here. But turnovers were the story here for South Christian. 4 turnovers, 3 picks, 1 fumble, compared to East Grand Rapids, 1 pick and 1 fumble for their 2 total turnovers as well, and penalties in the second half killed the Sailors as well. Tough night for Dahan, going 16 for 28, 192 yards, and 3 picks. And for Bernecker on the other side, kind of a quiet night, but it was a real game manager, going 4 for 8, 136 yards with the interception and a touchdown. And then, of course, Grady in the backfield, just talking about him all night, running out of the eye. 12 carries, 72 yards, touchdown, a fumble, and, of course, that big first down pass play. And then Van Solkema really came out strong in the final 3 quarters. Running the ball 15 times, 117 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the night.
Yeah, a lot to feel good about for South Christian in the sense of they're down 2 offensive linemen tonight, yet still had a 100-yard rusher in Chandler Van Solkema. Still gave Jake Dahan some time throughout the night. He was running for his life a few plays tonight, but for the most part, I thought that offensive line did pretty good against a strong defense. And this was a game that South Christian, they could have won. I mean, it's one of those tough losses that you're going to look back and, again, if and buts were candy and nuts, right? It's just a really tough loss when you think about the key plays that really turned the tide in the game at times. But I do think there's enough positives to build on moving forward.
Totally. I felt like there were a few key plays that swung the momentum of the game, especially in the first half. I mean, like we talked about, the game was played between the 20-yard lines for much of the first half until that last couple of minutes there. And then second half, of course, that run game from East Grand Rapids just took over. So a lot to take away just from a positive perspective for South Christian. I thought Dahan with a tough stat line. He played well, gutsy plays, some errant throws, some high throws, but some really good throws as well, and just seems like a really quality leader. So a lot of season left. He'll figure it out. South will figure it out. I know they have the injuries, but expect some big things out of the Sailors.
They'll get their next chance Friday night right here at Falcon Stadium. The Middleville Thornapple Kellogg Trojans come to town. They lost their first game, did not play last night due to COVID protocols. So first of all, let's hope that game is played next Friday night. That's the one thing you got to keep in mind during this strange season. For East Grand Rapids, an impressive win, a tough first half last week against Zeeland West. They really bounced back in the second half of that game, and I think that carried over to tonight. They withstood some sailor punches in the first half, and then really took control of this football game in the second half. And I think Casey Longo's got a lot to feel good about as he heads into Grand Rapids Christian next week when the Pioneers host the Eagles at Memorial Field. Next week, both games that I just mentioned will be on Michigan Sports Radio. Dave Van Noort will have the call of the Pioneers-Eagles game, and Arlen Gaddy and I will be back here at East Kentwood for the TK South Christian game. Both airtimes are at 6:45 next week. So until then, we will see you next week. I want to thank our video crew again. Todd Scrotenborough with a great job as the Sailor Zone makes its debut tonight with assistance from Maria Scrotenborough and Levi Heising and Ike Scrotenborough. Good job on a family affair tonight to get the video across in the Sailor Zone's debut. And also Tim Chenoweth with another terrific job keeping the numbers and giving us a good assessment of what's happening out on the field tonight. Bryce, great to have you working with us tonight. Super job, and we'll do it again sometime. In the meantime, enjoy Texas high school football. But this was pretty good tonight as well. Great game tonight, 30-21. EGR wins it. Have a wonderful holiday weekend, everybody. Have a safe holiday weekend. Enjoy it. And until next week, we'll see you then. This is Bob Sachs saying so long, everybody. Once again, the final score tonight, East Grand Rapids 30, South Christian 21. Good night, everybody.